aka Indigo Sky, aka y'all already know who it is, Trigger Ranking. About to get the first live of the day started, y'all. So y'all know the rules. Like, subscribe, share, hit notification. You want to donate to the channel, everything's on the top of the description. You want to follow me on other platforms, everything's on the top of the description. With that being said, let's get this show on the road.
You are watching a master at work.
All right, so the first video we reacting to today is Poetic Flacco, something about NLE Chopper beef with NBA Youngboy, and it said he had a pistol and he almost got hurt. So let's see what's going on.
This NLE Chopper and NBA Youngboy situation is gonna end really bad. This is gonna be one of those things where we look back on and we say, why didn't they stop beefing? Why? How did things go so far? How did things escalate? What's going on? We need peace in hip hop. But right now, as it's going on, everybody is antagonizing, instigating, and egging it on. But when somebody dies, we're gonna sit back and cry and be like, oh my God, they didn't have to go this far. So I'm just putting it out there. This is gonna end really, really, really bad if somebody don't intervene shortly. Youngboy and NLE been beefing for what seems like eternity now, but for the most part, their beef reignited or restarted when NLE dropped that Youngboy diss track like a month ago. The song was annoying, and I understand it's probably annoying from Youngboy's perspective to have somebody constantly like picking at you, trying to ride the wave, trying to get caught off you. But the public pretty much handled, I guess, Youngboy's like beef for him. Like, we publicly shamed NLE Chopper for this song, right? People called it out for being just a terrible song in general. You know, you even had like music critics critiquing him for like the rap style. I mean, Tupac, he got a lot of flack for this. And we admit again, it's an annoying song. It's an annoying gesture. But it should have stopped at public critique. It should have stopped at him being publicly shamed. Where this has gone now, I would have to put the blame on NBA Youngboy and his crew. Because this is like their habit. This is something that they usually do, which is whenever they're...
I gotta download that meme. Little boy said, wait a minute, who are you?
In some type of conflict. Especially like a rap conflict. They usually escalated and tried to do some street shit, and that's exactly what happened. So apparently, NLE Chopper was in Texas. NBA Youngboy's crew was also in Texas, more specifically OG3 and Ben 10. And apparently, like, while they were in Texas, like, they tried to get tough with NLE Chopper, and things escalated and got heated. My only question is why? Like, why are we trying to press people? Why are we trying to attack? Like, why over a diss song? Like, it doesn't make sense whatsoever. And this is why I say...
Shit, y'all better ask Tupac and Biggie. Shit. Sad thing, we can't ask them nothing. Because they don't. Yeah, that rap beef, that's what I'm like. I'd rather this rap like, you know, Kendrick. If I gotta turn you into a song, I'll turn you into a song. If not, I won't turn you into a song. I'll take it easy on you.
Put 100% of the blame on NBA Youngboy and his crew, because they're the one escalating this to a point of no return.
Typically, when you hear the word no credit, Jack, it usually means high sell price, high...
Yeah, no, I don't really talk too much. I'll be chilling, brother. Where you at, man? I'll meet up with you. You carry me with your brother name, like, I'll meet up with you. I'll do something with all y'all, you know what I'm saying? One-on-one, all together, I'll do something from the shoulder. I don't need no stick, man. You talking against shit, we can do something from the shoulder. Let's see what we pay, bro. I don't know this shit. I don't know what turn me and my brothers no more. I ain't gonna play with them, though. Shit, we can do something from the shoulder. On the guard, man. Or we can take it to your head, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to do, baby boy.
After talking to multiple people involved, NBA Youngboy and his crew were the aggressor. They were coming out to confront NLE Chopper. NLE Chopper and his crew kind of got up out of there, but then NLE Chopper pulled out a gun on his way out while he's screaming, it can go down, it can go down, it can go down. Italy Chocolate, I believe, is like 24, 25 years old, but he's going through a midlife crisis. He's sick and tired of people thinking he's not as tough as NBA Youngboy. So this was his opportunity to kind of prove he's like that. And even in the aftermath, when he's explaining what happened or what took place, he's very adamant that he hates the fact that people don't view him like.
What's up? Where you coming in from? Where you tapping in from? If you don't mind me asking, where you tapping in from? What city? What state? Whatever. What
Right,
country?
he's from Memphis too, so he's also tough. Which to me is just like, bro, y'all are multi-millionaires. Why are y'all doing this? And for a young boy,
Yeah, I just hate all this young crash out shit. Like, these kids willing to throw their life away for nothing, bro. Cause you want to be tough. Come on, bro. Bro, y'all need to get y'all some money. Try to be a role model, if anything. And yeah, just stay out the way, man. Cause all this extra shit, bro. Pulling guns and I want to be tough and this and that. Then when the first person get hit in their chest with a bullet, everybody upset and crying and he could have made it and all this and yeah. Y'all wasn't saying that when y'all was egging the beef on and shit. So that's why I hate when people die in the rap game and shit. You know, motherfuckers always had their favorites and shit like that. That's just like Kendrick and Drake. Kendrick is my favorite out of that battle. But I don't want nothing to happen to Drake.
and his crew is like, bruh, if y'all don't like somebody, if y'all don't like a diss track that dropped against you, ignore them. Walk the other way. Leave them alone. Right? You deal with it by not engaging with them,
We
by
got a
not
clown
working with
here,
them,
bro.
by not doing business with them. Just let.
Oh shit! Oh, we got a clown. Goddamn, we got a clown. We got him. We got a clown in here, bro.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Yeah, we had to go slow motion with that one. I'm gonna have to wrap this with the lyrical lemonade. Yeah, somebody ain't on. They trying to be funny and shit.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Oh, we got a clown. Where you at? Come on, where you at, clown? Gonna bring you to the circus.
Let them be and let them fend for themselves. Y'all trying to suppress or go after any and everybody who has a musical problem with young boys is just dumb and it's gonna bring this whole entire infrastructure and camp down if y'all don't stop this nonsense. NLE Chopper took to his Instagram story to write, at the end of the day, MS tried to pull a move to say they pressed your boy and it backfired. And I see and peep the plot. I see what's going on. Laugh my A off. I got in the car and drove away after I realized Ninjas wasn't on nothing. MF pulled up on me and didn't follow through with their plans. I can't respect it. Stood on 10 like the commandments. I overly stamped that. Gang and street culture has done irreversible damage to our community, man. Only in our community would you see a multi-millionaire who's probably in charge of a multi-million-dollar business brag about standing on business and standing 10 toes down and engaging with hooligans. You ask anybody else in any other community or any other industry, what they would do when hooligans pull up, they would say, oh, dude, like my security handled that. Oh my God, I can't believe they tried. Right? Like that's how you handle things. You make a police report and let your security handle it. But NLE Chopper is bragging about getting in the field because he's sick and tired of people thinking he's soft, which you can't really blame the kid, man. NLE Chopper goes on to explain he don't like how people be calling him soft in situation as if he's back.
What's up? Where y'all tapping in from?
I don't respect that how breath flipping narratives like I drove off running from a man when I stood in the parking lot asking what he want to do with fire in hand. And you did hear NLE Chopper scream, what you want to do? Don't forget where you at, cuz. Right hand on Bible. I'm hot about that because there's steady be a misconception going on, but I don't tuck my tail. I fear none. Ninjas ain't got the best of me. And in that situation, my 2 feet was in quicksand. I was drowning and standing on business. Come on, man. Go play with your mammy. He continues. And let's...
Bruh said, go play with your mammy. Damn it. I'm talking about go play with your mammy. That's what I did to tell right here, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna give you 24 hours to go play with your mama, boy. Go play with your mama, boy.
Ready. It was 4 pipes pulled. Them boys was justified to lay me on my back and ain't do it. On top of that, instead of stamping me, a phone got pulled out. And there's people really in these comments saying some about your boy, LOL. Y'all D-Riders, keep it a buck. Hold them accountable. I was supposed to be stamped. Touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm. I'm one of them ones. Stamp that, imp that, flimp that. Still a Memphis ninja at heart. I didn't pull nothing cool from that statement. I didn't read that statement and thought, oh my God, NLE Chopper's such a real one. I looked at it and thought, you are a dummy, right? You are a fool. You are willing to throw it all away. Why? Why? Over who? Baby Joe and NBA Ben? Man, come on, man. But NLE Chopper, apparently that was not enough. The IG story was not enough. So NLE Chopper took to, I think, his Instagram, and he dropped a full-length video explaining how he didn't back down and how he's not a punk and how he was ready to go to war. And the way he's talking, you can kind of tell, like, he thinks what he's saying is cool. He thinks this is what the audience want to see, and quite possibly this is probably what the audience want to see. But ultimately, bro, this is gonna lead to one of y'all getting hurt really badly, and this is gonna change one of y'all lives' trajectory forever. We've seen what happened with King Von and Quando. King Von died, but Quando's life trajectory.
King Von got killed right here in Atlanta, man.
Got changed forever. Quando went from being a promising musical artist to currently being in jail on a 5-year sentence. And if Quando was a free man, he's already been blackballed completely from the industry.
Bro, I stand on everything I love, bro. What type of gangster pull up on a man, say they gonna do something to a man, and pull out their phone? On everything I love, bro. Baby, ARP in hand, man. I just ask these folks, what you wanna do? Why y'all keep staring at me?
None of y'all are gangsters, man. Y'all are rappers. Rappers are dweebs. Rappers are the butt of the jokes. Rappers are the laughing stock of the world. Nobody look at a rapper and think tough guy.
Texas was feeling unlucky.
That's crazy.
Now Texas?
Nobody look at a rapper and think tough guy.
I'm sitting here, right in the drive, parking lot, right there telling them what they want to do. Man, them shaking, man. 3, you shaking. Ben, shaking. Y'all niggas do shit, man. Listen, then right after that, cause I hop in the car, I'm like, man, what y'all want to do? Y'all don't want to do nothing. Pull off in the whip, now they want to pull their phone out, man. I had 2 niggas on the front line that would have laid y'all down. Come on, man. If you gonna post something, post that, bro. Listen, bro, go pull the surveillance camera footage up. I was just standing there, wide in the middle, butt booty naked, flat foot in the parking lot. You niggas ain't do shit to me, bro. I drove off. I was hanging out the window with that yeah, screaming, do something. What happened, nigga?
These niggas is crash outs, bro. Like, he hanging out the window with the gun. Come on, bro. Crash out.
You pulled out a phone, bro. I'm not finna camera. Man, listen, I'm on straight self-defense, man. I'm not on offense, man.
Listen, bro, I'm not promoting no violence, bro. I swear to God, cuz I'm not on nothing, bro. But I cannot just believe my own, no misconception. I don't smoke with nobody. I don't beef with nobody.
Come on. Then why even do all that publicly, bruh? Yo, I understand you a rapper and you gotta protect your image, but yo, certain things is bigger than his rap image, man. Your life is bigger than this. I'm telling you, man. Yo, as somebody who dealt with like really personal loss lately, like, bruh, like a loss so close, bruh, that I'm still stunned. Like y'all, like yo, if y'all rewind like some of my videos, y'all seen my homie in the back. Even y'all kind of made jokes and references about him always being in the back and chilling. I lost my homie like not too long ago. So I understand, man, like the consequences that comes with beef, the consequences that comes with whatever NLE Chopper is trying to prove to the fans. It's not worth it, bro.
So NLE Chopper, I mean not NLE Chopper, Poetic Flacco said he lost one of his homeboys, I guess over some. Cause I know the dude he talking about, he be sitting in the background sometimes.
At all.
I definitely seen him before.
Now for me, he should have started off with this.
I'm like, damn, I'm not here to, I'm not here to, I ain't gonna do that.
Man, I don't want no beef with anybody, man. But started off with, man, y'all know I'm from Memphis, bro. I'm really like that, bro. I ain't running nobody, bro. It's like you were engaging in the malarkey.
Feel me? But we are not about to sit here and build a narrative that I just ran from somebody, but when I was just chilling, having family time, guy. And I ain't even trying to be on no man shit or no gangster shit, none of that, guy. I'm just saying I'm having family time. As I'm leaving, y'all pulling up. I already know what happened. Somebody dropped the load, that's cool. Y'all pulled up though, and y'all ain't do nothing, bro. Y'all had on, bro had on gloves, all type shit, and y'all ain't do nothing, bro. Y'all just started recording, bro. That's not cool. That ain't gangster, bro. That didn't tell me I ran fool when you know I was just standing there asking y'all, what do y'all want to do? That's not straight. I don't feel that cool, bro. I ain't trying to get on the old and bark, bro. I'm just saying, bro. That's not.
What happened, Mike?
Nothing.
What happened?
Nothing.
What they do?
Nothing. They filmed. They filmed.
What they do?
Hey.
What the? Time out. Did I not have ARP in my hand? Was I not fat foot, butt, booty, neck? Did I not walk to the car, go grab my then ask them what they want to do?
On my life.
On everything, didn't it?
On everything out on my kids.
On my kids,
So
too.
you ready to crash out for
All
nothing?
3 of my kids can talk right now. If I did not just ask them. They didn't, bro, come on. And y'all always thinking I'm the one that's the whole man. Come on.
I don't want to do. I don't do that, I don't want to see too. Something about happens every afternoon. I was going back to the mixing room. The people that talk, the open them.
And y'all always thinking I'm the one that's the whole man. Come on.
Wait, one more thing. Before I retreat, I don't put nobody facing shit. What just happened?
Bro, that man almost died. That's what happened.
No, he ain't almost died. We ain't almost do that to him. But
Filled our prisons. I said
that's
it.
Yes.
He knew what it was.
That's why he knew not to pull his gun out. He had one for sure, but he didn't pull
They
it
didn't
out.
want to insert back. They didn't want to do nothing violent.
now, time out. Was it justified that they could have did something that blew us down and got off?
Yes.
Because we had what in hand?
Everybody had guns.
Everybody had what in hand? Okay, now what did they have in their hand?
Nothing.
What did Ben have in his hand when we drove off?
A phone. He was recording.
Come on, man.
The internet really got a hold on y'all, man. Now, one more thing now.
They gotta be tough for the internet. So sad, bro. This young generation, bro, I don't get it, bro. But I pray for them. I pray for them, man. Get you some money, Bridgman. Get you some money, man. Get you some stability. Get you some mental stability as a young man in the world.
People to bear witness that you had a gun in your hand. What about that do you want the public to know? No, bro, I had no gun in my... Yes, and... NLE, I'm gonna tell you this, man. NBA YoungBoy has committed to his path in life, okay? He is a street dude, and he's willing to die on his path and he's comfortable with it. You're somebody who you have done alternative things. You've done kind of pop songs. You've done rock songs. You've gone down the LGBTQIA path. You done performed at Pride. You are now Dr. Sadie with the medicine. You've done an array of things. You're really not somebody who strikes me as a full-on crash out, as somebody who's willing to lose it all. Like, I don't think I've ever heard about Annalie Chopper going to jail since he's been free. You got a mom and a father in your life. This is not the path you want to take. Now, NBA and his crew there, crash out, they will kill you and do the time for it. And I don't think you think that's too much of a hot take. There's somebody around YoungBoy right now who would take you out and do the time for it. Time after time, we've seen it, they've done it. So if it's not that deep, if it's
man, more to the story. Sit y'all ass down some motherfucking well, man. Sit the fuck down, bro. More to the story. All right, we're going to another Poetic Flacco video. This is an update about this this white dude. He was basically harassing black people and calling them the N-word, calling them chimps and all of this stuff. And he went viral, but he found out that wasn't the right thing to do.
America's favorite racist, Chud the Builder, is back for more tears after losing everything. Life has gotten even worse for him since our last video. This is part 3 of our racist YouTuber Begs for Help series.
Damn.
And we covered Chud in part 2. But ever since I covered Chud, I've gotten so much more interesting information about him that people have been sending in. Just in case you missed part 2, let's do some recap here. Chud is the racist content creator who goes around calling black people the hard N-word for no reason whatsoever. Apparently, he has a vendetta against black folks because black folks got him fired from his job about 2 years ago because while in traffic, he had road rage and decided that he was gonna call a black woman and her daughter the hard N-word in traffic. So they recorded him and they posted it, and their entire small town ostracized him, blackballed him, treated him like a pariah. He lost his job and he lost everything. So ever since then, he decided he had this vendetta against black people, and he was gonna make content where he goes around calling them the hard N-word.
There's a white boy calling him this him right here.
Call
Don't walk up on me. You ain't never safe.
You think I'll never say?
I don't give a fuck. I mean, at the end of the day, I just want you to.
You're a nigga. Yeah, you're a nigga.
Boy,
Shut up, nigga. Come on, come do something. Come do something. They chipping out. They chipping out. Dumbass. He's chimping out. He don't know how to drive in the parking lot. He's mad I called him.
If you're wondering why somebody hasn't held him accountable yet, it's because he has a gun on his hip in every one of these videos. He only does these videos when he has a gun. Because when the judge ruled he can't walk around the town no more with a gun, these videos magically stop. Chud is such a despicable human being that he got banned from church. They canceled his baptism and told him he can't come back on the premises anymore due to...
This man got banned from a baptism. Bro, how you get banned from being baptized at church? If anybody would accept you in your wrongdoing, it would be the church, bro. If the church banned you, bro.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
His antics online. So the only consequences, the only reward that he has gotten from being racist online is attention. But unfortunately for Chud, attention can't feed his family, so he started this Give, Send, Go where he's asking people for help, and he's blaming Black Lives Matter activists for ruining his life, even though he's the one who ruined his entire life. So this sad Give, Send, Go apparently listed a very sorrowful life that Chud is currently living, that he can't even feed his 2-year-old son. So the Give, Send, Go says, My name is Dalton. I'm reaching out with a heavy heart fighting.
You doing all that. You got a 2-year-old kid, but you running up on black people calling them the hard N word, and you calling them chimps, and you got a 2-year-old son at the house, man. You better be glad you made it back to your son.
To protect my family and business. Just over 1 year ago, I started DLE contracting in Clarksville out of sheer necessity. I was fired from my previous contracted job after BLM activists targeted me over words I shared online. It was actually a mother and a daughter who posted you calling them the hard N-word. So he would also say he has no support to support his family and his precious 2-year-old son, blah, blah, blah. And all he did was make mild jokes, which is calling children and black women and black people the hard N-word. Unfiltered thoughts, and yes, sometimes I use the N-word in what I thought was edgy, harmless humor. You thought it was harmless while you were calling them effing N-words. Okay, buddy. So then he would say people were threatening to grape and murder him and even targeting his innocent 2-year-old son with unspeakable cruelty. So what I learned after making my video, right, after making this video, I learned that Chud is not just a despicable racist, but he's also a scammer. You see, he put his 2-year-old son, plastered the 2-year-old son all across the Give, Send, Go to garner donations, to raise over $30,000 to feed his 2-year-old son. Come to find out, that's not true at all. And Chud is actually scamming with this Give, Send, Go. And this Give, Send, Go needs to be taken down. Like, we need to petition Give, Send, Go to take this down. This is fraud. While responding back to people on Twitter, he actually exposed his entire fraud, his entire scam. So somebody says, don't condone anybody threatening anybody, right? But by you doing your dumb social media is you're getting your kid in harm's way. Just say, be a better father. Yeah, raise your kid instead of commenting online and essentially guaranteeing that this kid would never be able to live a normal life because his father is you. He put, you're a coward. The person says, and just so I'm clear, I get it, but is it, now this person is also a white supremacist. So he put, is it worth putting the safety of your kid in jeopardy? You know you're doing something wrong when even the white supremacist is telling you, hey, listen, man, all right, I support your right to call black folks the hard NR, right, the hard N-word in public, but do you really have to do it in those neighborhoods while you're still living there? So the person goes, is it worth putting the safety of your kid in jeopardy so you can film yourself calling people racial slurs for money on X? If so, that's pretty effing pathetic, especially when it's evident you can't bring in your own income, which is the fact, right? He's very poor. Wouldn't be surprised if CPS knocks on your door soon. Wouldn't be surprised if CPS knocks on your door soon. Now, let's hear Chud's response to this, because certainly Chud has custody of his son. Certainly, Chud is taking care of his son, right? Because he raised $33,000 from people who want Chud to feed his son, because Chud says this money is going to go towards taking care of his son. Certainly, Chud is making good and well with that money he raised, right? Well, Chud says he haven't made any money from that, so he's just doing it because he's a cloud whore. They took my son a long time ago. Oh, hold on, Chud. Hold on, man. Hold on, Chud.
Damn, they took his son a long time ago, so you been a fuck up.
Hold on, buddy. What do you mean they took your son a long time ago? They took my ability to work consistently and tried to starve me. I took to the internet posting videos of my day-to-day interactions of all the harassment I get. I organically blew up. People supported me, keep up. They took my son a long time ago. So not only is Chud a jobless person, right? He's an unemployed freak, but Chud is also a deadbeat. He don't even have custody of his kid. Oh, now we go back to this Give, Send, Go, and we say, oh, Chud. Oh, Chud, this is getting shut down, Chud. This is getting shut down. This is a scam. This has to get shut down. Now, the last time we covered this, I think Chud had raised about what, like $32,000. He's only at 33,000, right? So he's raised about $1,000 in a week. The grift ain't going as planned, Chud. Okay, it's not going as planned. So again, let's read this gifts and go again. Help Chud and his family. What family? You don't have custody of your son. CPS took your son a long time ago, according to you. So then he goes and he says that people are targeting his 2-year-old son, that he has no other way to support his family and his precious 2-year-old son. He put a picture of his son here. Now, this is an old picture. This scandalous, diabolical scammer posted an old picture with his son. He hasn't held his son for a very long time because CPS took his son a long time ago. So why are you using your son to grift? Why are you using your son to garner sympathy? Why are you using your son to get money that you claim is gonna go to feeding your son when you don't even have custody of your son? Your son don't live with you, you scammer. Here's what I think should happen. I can't tell y'all what to do. I think the police need to be notified. I think this gifts and go needs to be reported. I think people have to know about this. People have to know about this fraud. You can't just defraud these good people, these good white people. Right? You're defrauding these good white people who is donating to you because they care about your 2-year-old son. This is despicable stuff, man. Now, it warms my heart that Chud is not raising money as fast as he thinks he would. He's not getting paid from X. He's lost custody of his son. It warms my heart because what is apparent here is, Chud, I think, will be a story that deters other people. That the grift don't work as smoothly as you think. You see, Chud is surely grifted for a fact, okay? And I'm gonna prove it. So you don't overnight become a racist. You become a racist because you think it's beneficial for you. You see, we got some information about Chud before he went viral on social media, before the attention got to him. We got some interesting information that proves that this is all a grift. That Chud is only doing this because in his heart, because he feels like he could make money from this. He don't really believe these things. He don't really hate Black people. As a matter of fact, he's our biggest fan. He's obsessed with us. This Black dude from the same city as Chud, he is appalled. He is flabbergasted at Chud's new racist art online because Chud was his biggest fan. Chud was in his DMs eating cock. So he was effing me up about this Dalton situation I've been hearing about is for years. Dude was my effing biggest fan. Used to listen to my music, buy clothes from me, trying to talk Black and use slang and ish, even defending Black people. It's crazy how white folks flip. I honestly feel like I need that.
This is crazy, dog. This is some shit I ain't never heard of, bro. First you like Black people, then you don't like Black people. Now you need help from Black people. I don't get it. This shit's crazy.
You know, because this is some BS. Is this you? Oh, Chud, who apparently don't like Black people, is posting himself vibing to dude's music on his story, just like a groupie, rotting this dude's cock. Dude is playing him like a fan. Righteous, appreciate you, bro. All right, Chud is asking dude to hang out. He's bringing in Jack Miller because he's a lick. All right, he's begging for Black friends. But here's where it gets kind of even goofier, okay? Just goofier. So Chud is riding this dude cock crazy, bro. All right, dude, goddamn it, Laylo B is my new MFing anthem. So don't like us, but our music is your anthem, right? This is hard. But you know why this is his anthem? And this part will really trip you out, okay? You're about to see doctorate level projection from Chud, okay? So Chud goes, B is my new MFing anthem. This is hard. Dude playing him like a fan. Appreciate you for real, fan. Appreciate you. Like, right? But Chud is riding his dude cock. Pause. So dude go, I'm getting back on my end. Glad you F with it. This dude goes, laughed my ass off, slapped him with the I-24 reference, cut me. Ain't nobody making music for the dope boys out here anymore. We need this. It's Chud, you got all that to say about black people and you a dope boy? You sell drugs? You a drug dealer? You see how they project? You see how they project their own character flaws upon us? Chud is going around saying he wants to save America. He wants to save this country, but the whole time, Chud is a drug dealer? How we know this person on Twitter was telling the truth? When they says, the one he's actively breaking by being a drug dealer. So the person was like, yo, Chud's going to jail, right? They say, yo, he's going to prison. They said, how? How is he going to prison? It says the one he's actively breaking by being a drug dealer, he's probably already been locked up. He thinks he's safe on Telegram, but he definitely isn't. So Chud then says, laugh my A off. They try to discredit me. I'm a normal guy who calls you people, never been charged of dealing drugs. Don't even have a Telegram app on my phone. You've never been charged because you've been getting away with it. So you see how embarrassed they are of their past and their history? So he's a low-level drug dealer. He calls himself a dope boy because he's obsessed with street culture. But when he's been outed to his new audience of good white folks, according to him, who wants to serve America first and kick out these criminals, he's being outed and he can't take it anymore. Oh, he hates himself, man. Chud, you going to jail. People, listen, bro. People, we have all the ammunition in the world to get Chud locked up. What are we waiting for? We should be
try to get this man clink.
Making police reports on Chud being a drug dealer tonight. That should be a lesson to a lot of y'all for why y'all gotta stop being so open when it comes to these people. Yo, people like Chud, man, they're scavengers, they're vultures, bruh. They're trying to get in where they fit in. When being a dope boy was beneficial, when having street credibility was beneficial, when being a white boy on the block that was respected was official, was beneficial to feed his family, he was all of that. He even understood why saying the N-word wasn't cool, right? Here is Chud, by the way, explaining why people saying the N-word is not okay, all right? So Chud writes, literally just had a big comment in my DMs just now and try comparing the word, we can't say it on YouTube, but the R word with the N-word. It effed me up. Now, this is him talking to this dude, by the way, right? Who, again, they're both dope boys. So he says, this chick tried to compare the R word with the N word. It effed me up. As if they were even close to the same. One is rooted in honest linguistic usage.
Merry Christmas.
One is rooted in pure hate.
If you don't mind, hit the like button from me and where you coming in from. Merry Christmas.
And dehumanization of an entire race of people. MFs are delusional. And this is why I don't argue with these people, man. When y'all want to waste your breath and say, no, you can't say the N-word. No, the N-word is not just a number word. It's not freedom of speech. When y'all want to waste your breath and argue, you're arguing.
When somebody call me a nigga, I take the Tupac effect to it. Never ignorant, always getting goals accomplished. So yeah, I'm a nigga.
People who
and you can clip that up.
Understand why the N-word is bad to say. You're arguing with people who understand why the N-word isn't just a word. They understand exactly why it's hateful, but they're still gonna, which is why I don't even waste my breath to argue with them, bro. No, we just get in the field and get busy. Look, let's hear Chud explain again why the N-word is bad to say. He says, the R word and the N word is not the same, right? They're not even close to the same. One is rooted in honest linguistic usage. One is...
All I can say is...
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Rooted in pure hate and dehumanization of an entire race of people. MFs are delusional. Not only is Chud defrauding these good white people out of their money to feed his son, right? Because come to find out, you don't even have custody of your son. So you're just taking that money and feeding yourself, man. All right, glutony. But Wait till these good white people find out, Chud, that you were a dope boy who loved rap music, who sold drugs to the community, and you somehow understood that using the N-word was bad. Now let's compare the Chud we just seen and heard to the grifter who we now, no, let's compare Dalton. That was Dalton in the past. Let's compare Dalton, the liberal who sold drugs and loved black folks. Let's compare that Dalton to the new grifter on our timelines called Chud the Builder.
Oh, I support your right to free speech, but you go in certain neighborhoods around certain people, I just can't support that anymore. Okay, well, so you're okay with giving up your rights in certain neighborhoods around certain people? You're cool with it not being America there? We're taking our country back. Do you understand this? It's America first. Not America here, and well, we just ignore that corner over there because I'm too to go over there and
I hate when white people say we're taking our country back. Like, it was never your country to begin with. You came here and colonized. So through the colonization, it makes it not your country, actually the natives.
express my rights and exercise my freedoms. Oh, if you go over there and do that, bro, oh, I can't support you anymore. I didn't want your support. You're big. We're taking the country back. Steve Irwin, we're having fun doing so. Call him a Nick. Jump on the Croc's neck, wrap the mouth with the tape. Nick, we're not scared of you anymore. We're having fun with this.
He's trying so hard to be this spokesperson for racist white folks, but they don't rock with him, like they don't respect him at all. So he goes, I wish we, so he responds back to this post where they go, I wish we had a white man that would stand up for white people. So he goes, I'm right here. This is just thirsty, Chud. Chud, this is thirsty, man. You gotta play, you gotta play it coy just a little bit more. Bro, you can't be this fanned out, man. Just thirsty. Right? You gotta have some decorum when you grifting, Chud. So then he says, I'm right here, guys. And they go, not you, bro. We don't respect you, bud. We don't respect you, bud. Not you, bro. Sorry. You're not our type of white guy. This is just sick, man. This is
even the racist white people don't like him. That's crazy.
Just oh my God. I don't know how much worse it's gonna get for Chud, but I have an idea because we already have a part 4 plan. So stay tuned, okay? I'm gonna create a playlist just for this series, and and send me stuff on Instagram, man. If you guys want me to cover certain, send me stuff on Instagram, bro. All right, I want to expand my horizon, and we want to really figure out who these people are and who these racists are, and make their lives as difficult as possible, okay? So let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this, okay?
Crazy shit, crazy.
Domino's specialty pizzas are just $9.99 each when you mix and match. Nope, your brain didn't glitch. Order now at Domino's.
Tune in to GPB. It's a Georgia thing.
I knew things were over for Nicki Minaj when the fence-sitting celebrities started having opinions and started voicing it. That's usually an indicator that the industry thinks is over for you. And the reason why celebrities may feel like it's safe to speak on Nicki Minaj and it might be over for her is because she lost a lot of her support base when she went to M-Fest. M-Fest is obviously a festival thrown by Turning Point at the direction of Erica Kirk since Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Now, Nicki Minaj sat down with Erica Kirk herself and they had a conversation about an array of things. I think at some point in this conversation, Nicki Minaj said that Black folks make white folks feel unsafe and feel like they can't love themselves. Nicki said a whole lot of nothing during this particular interview. Now, some people just have a problem with her being there, right? They have a problem with her keeping the company of Turning Point and pushing their particular agenda. One of those people being Joe Budden, who is really good friends with Nicki Minaj. He has publicly denounced her and asked her not to call or text him. And he announced he's completely done with her on his podcast today.
Nicki Minaj, Turning Point USA. She went out there. By now you've seen it. I got a bunch of phone calls about it.
I bet.
I'm out. I'm done. That was it. Sorry, I'm gone. I'm gone. That's it. The last dance. That was the last candle on the cake for me. Sorry, Barbs. Sorry, Nick. Don't call me, don't text me. It is what it is. Sometimes how y'all move around out there does have an effect on how I view you, and this was one of them things. I'd be a fool to think that you didn't consider that before you did it.
I'm sure.
Which just says to me that you really don't give a. I'm even more baffled. I don't even know how much of this conversation I can have. But they're so anti-transgender, which is confusing to me because I've been to the Nicki concert.
That's the thing that fucks me up.
If Nicki would have went to Turning Point, tap dance, spewed some anti-black rhetoric, and went home, I would have told you her career about to take off, man. She's about to reach new heights she never reached before. You know why? Because she just gained an entire, new support system from the MAGA right. And black folks ain't canceling nobody for being anti-black. Man, let's keep it honest, bro. Black folks ain't canceling nobody for being anti-black. Look at Kanye, bro. Kanye put on the red hat. Bro, we're still bumping Kanye songs a year later, man. Right? Ain't nobody give a damn. So the anti-black rhetoric to me was not gonna hurt Nicki because black folks ain't never stuck together to cancel somebody, bro. We were supposed to cancel who? Gucci? A while ago. We back to wearing Gucci. We're supposed to boycott Target. We back in Target. But what really effed Nicki up, man, was the anti-LGBTQIA.
Yeah, cause that's like her biggest support system. Them folks.
Sentiments. When she was telling boys to be boys, which by the way is a sentiment that we agree with. Boys should be boys. But her fan base are boys who don't want to be boys. The Barbs are not straight women or straight men. No. The Barbs are boys who don't want to be boys. So the fact that she was willing to alienate that community for Charlie Kirk, I said, yeah. It's raps, bro. It's over with. Because once Nicki Minaj lose her teeth, because that community was the teeth of Nicki Minaj's entire image and brand. The Barbs on Twitter.
Damn. That's fucking crazy. I just think that was a bad look, period, for her to go up to the turning point. I don't care if she talked about whoever, bro. I just feel like that was a bad look, but then for her to with the black and white shit and the little girls and all, yeah, bro, that shit, it was a train wreck.
Who harasses everybody? Who torments everybody?
If y'all ain't seen it, y'all need to go look at it, bro. Or just look at the highlight, because I'm definitely sure they got like highlight clips of what the parts where she called J.D. Vance an assassin. And Charlie Kirk just got killed, 3 months ago, 4 months ago? It's crazy, bro. J.D. Vance an assassin.
If you apologize to Nicki, if you go at her, the Barbs is filled with that community. Once you take away the Barbs from Nicki Minaj.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete...
You should take away the Barbs from Nicki Minaj. Goodbye. Right? Goodbye. The aura gone, bruh. And she drops her album, I'm thinking, man, good luck.
I'm so confused by so much of what was said on that stage.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing, hoping that maybe
Same.
it was going to be impartial or there was a reason, but she was just echoing a lot of the shit that you would expect to be echoed.
I remember
highly disappointed.
Same.
Yeah,
Extremely disappointed.
I'm not disappointed.
Very, very anti-black of you. Very anti-black of you. Let's just call shit what it is. You was saying?
Oh no! I'm not disappointed just because I've come to expect
no expectation.
Yeah, or I expected that. Unfortunately, I remember when I first criticized Nicki a couple months ago, and I said she's doing these MAGA talking points. She's not like a MAGA person, and the Barbs came after me like, "Why are you saying she's MAGA just because she cares about X, Y, and Z?" Is she MAGA now? She's at the Turning Point conference. She's talking to Charlie Kirk's wife.
Talk about how handsome.
She's definitely
How
mad.
handsome Trump is.
No, she went crazy.
She called J.D. Vance an assassin, which is a weird thing
That
to say.
was crazy.
To a woman whose husband was just assassinated.
That was a
But
very awkward.
you could
30
put any other
seconds.
word, right? It was like, oh, what is happening here?
Then she all little girls mattered when
Yes.
talking about that. It was a hot ass mess on that stage.
It was.
That's exactly.
Like there's no way to sugarcoat it.
Right.
I'm done. I'm off.
And I think part of that is because we respect Nikki's mind and her autonomy. In other words, I don't think she's being duped. I don't think she's a patsy. I think she knows exactly what she's doing. She's making a choice, and I strongly disagree with that choice. And so I can't rock with it. I still think she's a great MC. She's probably top 10 ever for me, male, female, dead, alive, whatever. I think she's just a great artist. But the choices she's making in life are stunningly disappointing. Over the course of her career, although over the last year, it's exactly on brand what we would expect.
I don't think what she's doing is genuine. I don't think Nicki Minaj genuinely in her heart believes anything she's representing or saying. I think Nicki Minaj can't.
She just wanted to get that bag. That's what I said. I said she wanted the bag. She just gonna, get that bag and run off with it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all will be listening to her shit when it come out in May, bro. So call it what you want to call it. Y'all gonna be back on her bandwagon as soon as she come back out.
Came here illegally. Nicki Minaj overstayed her visa. Nicki Minaj understands that this administration ain't playing that. And if you have a green card and you came here illegally, now I don't even know if she has a green card. I would assume she has a green card since she's still living here. But she's not married. And she came here illegally.
I thought she
She's
did
been
get
very
married.
vocal and honest about coming over here illegally. And she even said it's a shame she don't have a citizenship yet. So she wants a citizenship. This administration is the wrong time to play savior of Black folks, to play activist, to play anti-Trump as an illegal immigrant who don't even got her citizenship yet. So maybe she's doing this to win favor with Trump. Maybe she wants a permanent green card. Maybe she wants a citizenship. Maybe she wants Trump to override something with USCIS. I think Marco Rubio has that power. So I think Nicki Minaj is playing a long con game. But essentially, when it comes to this con game, though, you have to choose between she's already chosen, but your green card or citizenship or your rap career. She chose the green card and the citizenship because the rap career to me ain't never gonna be the same again. I can't listen to a Nicki Minaj song and get that same feeling. I listened to the Monster verse the other day. Man, I said, it didn't even feel the same no more, man. And quite frankly, I'll be real, bro. If I'm her, I'm choosing the rap career, bro. Nicki Minaj is a multi-millionaire. Nicki Minaj can move to any country in the world and live comfortably. Bro, she can move to Dubai and live comfortably. She don't need to live in the United States. I guess she's been here all her life, so that's the only thing she knows.
Texas was feeling unwelcome.
That's the only thing she knows. But selling out to this extent for a green card, man, is even worse than popping coochie for a green card and getting married.
I guess where my brain be stuck on is an ounce of black is black enough for me. A drop of black is black enough for me. Okay? So when you stand next to certain people that have made their agendas very clear as it pertains to black people, then that means you're complicit.
Yes. Or in agreement. Okay.
That too. If you're not in agreement and you look like you in agreement, then you're complicit.
You're complicit.
So either way.
And it's hurtful when people take all of that equity built in black and do that with it.
Maybe they don't view that drop of black like you do.
Still right.
I don't know. I'm not making
Everybody don't rep black. Black is not a monolith. Everybody don't rep it the same way. I'm only talking about my views in terms of people that I rocked with stamping something a little too hard for me. I can't.
So then what do you?
I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. I can't watch that and then we on the text or on the. Are you nuts?
Yo, dog, this
Oh, you
nigga
don't know me or my family.
This nigga got on
This
the
has
stage.
greater ramifications than any one of us. They talking about listen, all of it is a campaign. If you know what they're doing, Trump is. If you thought Trump was bad, now they're talking about the Vance Kirk ticket, and you know what they're saying out there. I'm not even a political man, but I know what they're saying out there.
So man, Vance just went up there. It was like, now we no longer have to apologize.
Now we don't gotta now we don't have to apologize for being. We don't have to be guilty or apologize for being white. Since when did white people ever have to apologize for anything that they've done the United States throughout the world?
To me, that's what's more dangerous than anything else, is Nicki Minaj stamping and co-signing white nationalism in his rhetoric. And they now have a token to say, we're not racist. Even the black people agree with it. Now, there are two sides of coins, because when you say to the average American, hey, what do you think they mean when they say, you don't have to be afraid, you don't have to be ashamed of being white anymore? The average white person would tell you, yo, during cancel culture, if I said, I'm proud of my heritage, I'm proud of being white, I got canceled and labeled a white supremacist and a nationalist, when no, I'm just a regular person who's proud to be white. They will tell you that. They'll tell you, I can't have certain opinions or say certain things because I'm white. That's what the average white person would probably tell you. But that's why dog whistling is so dangerous, because a dog whistle would hide behind a veil. The veil is, see, white people, right? We're talking about how cancel culture had you guys afraid to be yourself and to express yourself. That's the veil. The real opinion, and what J.D. Vance was really saying, is, this is our country and we taking it back. This is a country that we built and we taking it back. That's a call to white nationalism.
That's a lie. White people did not build this country. This country was built by brown people, black and brown people. That's what it was built by. Let's get it.
And to me, that's dangerous, right? Because the ideal frame of America for a white nationalist doesn't include people who look like me and Nicki Minaj. I think even Charlie Kirk once said that a Muslim should never be but a Muslim should never be the mayor of New York City. When Zohan, I think, was in the league, Charlie Kirk said that he don't believe that Zohan should be mayor of New York City because he's a Muslim. And it's a shame that 9/11 happened 20 years ago, and then 20 years later, the mayor is a Muslim. He didn't attack his philosophy, which he probably could have. He didn't attack anything else. He said Zohan is a Muslim, and a Muslim should not be the mayor of New York City. Framework like that, to me, would tell any immigrant, oh yeah, we can't stand next to people like that. But Nicki Minaj don't seem to care. Well, y'all let me know in the comment section, man. Right? What do you guys think? The scamming city girl mayor, ex-mayor of Dalton, Tiffany Hayner, is back. I'm not sure if you guys remember her. We made a lot of videos about her in 2024 before she lost her seat and got voted out as mayor after essentially stealing all the people's money. If you guys don't remember her, let me just catch you up, okay? So this woman became mayor of, I think, Dalton Township in Illinois. And the second she became mayor, she began spending these folks' money like it was gold out of style, man. Buying luxury SUVs for herself, taking $100,000 trips.
Fluent nationally known R&B singer Kiki Wyatt. The headline:
Hey, y'all, let's look at this O'Shea Do Jackson video. See what they're talking about. Talking about passport, bro.
2024, I released a video called "YouTuber Goes Broke Clapping Cheeks." Now he's in jail. And that video was about a guy by the name of Floyd. And Floyd was a guy from Omaha,
Yo, what up?
who was a very troubled individual. And he kept having a lot of problems. So much so, Floyd would intentionally go and bother police on purpose and then record it on YouTube.
Okay, I guess.
Let me tell you this, sir.
All right.
Somebody called us, told us that you were messing around our police cars at the police department. We watched you on camera. You're hiding behind these cars, and we want to know what your business is around our police cars.
What the fuck?
Can you put your weapon away, sir, please?
Boy, y'all sit your stupid ass down.
You about to get popped playing with the
Now,
goddamn
this
police
channel
like
of Floyd
that.
was
Boy, you
called
better stop
Omaha
that.
Cop Watch, ID Refusal.
Man, but he told the police to put that gun down.
Would purposely do this, put all of his encounters with the police across the world on this channel. Now, in this situation, he could have lost his life, but for him, that was adrenaline.
They could have popped his ass.
Now, for a guy who would do stuff like this just for views, imagine what kind of guy this would be in person. But the problem is,
You want to do that shit for views? That's crazy, man.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Floyd was not really successful. He was broke. I mean, if you keep going to jail all the time, then, well, you won't have no money.
He's right, you know.
He's right, you know.
Ticketed Weld has totally
right, you know.
revolutionized the super glue game. This isn't
money.
He's right, you know.
When you're a
He's
guy like
right, you
Floyd
know.
and you have his pitch and tonality or voice, and you're not successful, well, all of a sudden, black women don't want to date you. And so Floyd decided
Damn,
he
son.
would take his dysfunctional ass to the passport world community. And then he would start raising money online. He would beg people for cash. He would promise to do things. And he was pretty much a scammer. He would beg for money, raise money, and he would go across the world just so that he could do this.
Tell her. So can you cook? Can you cook?
Yes, I can cook, I can clean.
Yeah, see, this is why I came to Thailand to find a traditional woman. See, in
Damn, son.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. Bro, you can't make this shit up. I swear you can't make this shit up.
United States, women don't cook and clean. All they do is complain. And we don't got time for that. That's why I got my passport. And I've left the United States to come seek a wife to have a traditional relationship. So
You see, a guy like Floyd thought that
Okay.
going over to Thailand with other people's money and
Okay.
then throwing it in the faces of American women would be showing them something. Listen, I'm out here in Thailand and you chicks are missing out because I just got a free trip and now I'm clapping free cheeks and you women are not going to get a broke guy like me.
Damn.
And Floyd just didn't.
Hey, we gotta hit it again for y'all. We gotta hit it again for y'all.
Floyd recorded his losses.
I was telling you.
2 horas.
Oh,
2 horas.
amiga,
2 horas.
amiga, what are you doing?
No, no. No me gritas.
I'm trying to
No,
text you.
ya.
I'm trying to.
Mi cash. Ya. 2 horas y cash y let's go, Joe. No, no más.
No mas.
Now, this is Floyd after clapping some cheeks, I believe, in the DR or in Colombia, and he doesn't want to pay the lady. And the lady is trying to tell him, listen, I need to get paid for my 2 hours. And he's trying to convince her to let me go to the car and get my stuff, when really he's trying to clap without paying and leave. But she wasn't going for that. Okay?
This nigga, so basically you paying for the cheeks and then you don't want to pay. So he tried to hit and run like I heard a dine and dash, but I don't know what you call that one.
He had to pay somehow. But that didn't stop Floyd from still getting the favor of other chicks.
Has been lit.
Call that nigga the dip and dash, goddamn. Dip and dash, man, looking at boy. That boy Ryan on some bullshit. He on some motherfucking bullshit.
Limited. See that word limited. And while your access account, your access is limited, you won't be able to book any new reservation. Zero. I won't be able to book any new reservations. I just showed you proof.
What? Let's talk about the passport bros. Because again, you do have brothers out there who do want to meet successful women. The passport bros are a diverse community just like anybody else. You have your business class guys, you have your educated guys, you have guys who are younger, guys who are older, and not all are the same. But unfortunately, you have your J-Rellos, and then you have this guy, and they kind of fit this particular framework.
So they get their passports and they globetrot all over the world, trying to find a woman vulnerable enough, desperate enough, in search of citizenship enough to take that deal. This is predatory behavior. When you're looking for a woman who wants to have access to the benefits and the perks and the rights that we have as Americans, because they don't have those rights in their country, but you're gonna make her earn it. She's gonna have to earn it by you making a mule out of her, expecting her to do more than you're doing.
She's making a mule out. What's that? Make a mule? Not a mule, baby. She said a mule. We're making a mule out of her. Hold on.
They don't have those rights in their country, but you're gonna make her earn it. She's gonna have to earn it by you making a mule out of her, expecting her to do more than you're doing.
These are the guys that don't want to take care of any women abroad or at home.
Oh, yeah.
And they do want to exploit ladies. And especially when you hear about countries like Brazil. Now, I've been to Brazil once. It was cool. It was definitely some beautiful ladies there. But Brazil is not a rich country. And obviously, it's a place where, things happen.
Warn brothers or men who are going just to be careful, because I know one of the reasons that many men go to Brazil is for sexual tourism. I don't promote sexual tourism.
Typically, when you hear the word no credit check, it usually means I sell property.
It's for sexual tourism. I don't promote sexual tourism. I'm not interested in paying for intimacy, but a number of men don't see no issue with pay for play. But one just needs to be aware of there are some female, sex workers or who will put some, it's called, I think, Goodnight Cinderella, some drugs into men's drinks and take advantage of them and rob them.
Now, the brother was saying something that was pretty interesting later on in the video. He would talk about all of the men who were targeted within sexual tourism in Brazil, that a lot of guys who are in Brazil are actually targeted in Colombia. You have the scopolamine, all of these different things. I've done stories of black men dying in Brazil after being drugged. But this story is different because our guy.
Damn. A nigga died in Brazil? That's crazy. That's wild work, bro.
Floyd has just been arrested for doing the unthinkable.
That's crazy.
Now, Floyd Wallace Jr. was arrested. Now, I'm going to talk about what he was arrested for. It's also known that he has accumulated criminal records in more than 13 states before becoming the target of certain crimes in Brazil. These are sexual crimes, okay? Now, what did he do? There is a particular agency called Cyberlab, and this is an agency within Brazil's Ministry of Justice, and it was sent to Rio de Janeiro Civil Police. Now, this report warned of a possible sexual exploitation of underage people by a foreign citizen in Rio. The starting point was a complaint made by a rideshare driver on December 8th, 2025. According to the report, A user identified as Terry William requested a ride to the Hikari neighborhood in Rio's North Zone. Upon arrival, the driver noticed that the passengers were two underage women. During the trip, the teenagers said they were being taken to meet an older foreign man who did not speak Portuguese. They were unable to clearly explain who the man was or where they were going, leading the driver to contact the company's support service and register the case as a risk situation. Now, following the complaint, the rideshare app Uber initiated an internal investigation and identified that the same user, aka Terry William, had created and used multiple accounts under fake or third-party names. The analysis revealed a pattern of rides requested for children and adolescents, primarily girls, across different areas of Rio.
Damn.
In another incident, on December 18th, a ride requested by the same profile transported 4 underage girls from the Roca neighborhood into San Cristo into the city center. Data cross-referencing with support from Homeland Security investigations in the United States allowed authorities to identify that the user Terry William was in fact Floyd L. Wallace Jr. Now, somebody must have tipped off your boy Floyd Wallace Jr. because he understood that the block was getting hot. And so what he tried to do was to get out of there. He left Rio de Janeiro and traveled to Sao Paulo. With indications that he might flee the country, Rio police requested temporary detention, search and seizure data secrecy breach, and passed.
Man, he got locked up abroad. Boy, I know their jail's way worse than the ones in America.
For retention, all of which were authorized by the court. He was then arrested, although he resisted arrest and had to be restrained. What did they get on him? They seized 5 USB drives, 7 memory cards, 1 laptop, 5 cell phones, multiple SIM cards, stuffed animals.
What?
Stuffed animal, a balaclava.
This nigga had stuffed animals. Bro, what the I ain't never heard nothing like this before, bro. These people is sick, my nigga. God damn. So this nigga has stuffed animals.
Whatever the hell that is. Watches and he watched with a hidden camera.
This is horrible, dog.
So
this is
I want
horrible.
to talk about this because he's been investigating a rape of a vulnerable person and facilitating
these niggas is
sexual
sick.
exploitation. Now, I heard a stream, and people were talking about the fact that Brazil has the age of consent in Brazil is 14. So I wanted to know, is that just for locals? So in other words, because America requires Americans that the legal sex age in most places, I mean, you do have some states that are 16, 18. Does that mean that you can't mess with somebody under the age of 18? And the answer is no. Just because you're 14.
Hello? Leo!
You legally do that. I know that's creepy and weird, but I was trying to find the wider context. And the reason why is I figured that, well, maybe the people that he was transporting were like under 18, but Brazil's age of consent was 14. So Wallace was not having sex with these ladies. He was setting them up to other men. So in other words, some guys from America, I don't know who they were, would come to him, ask for girls, then he would find some other connection to transport those girls. He was using his own rideshare app to then deliver those girls to somebody else, although he was not with them, okay? Now, if you are a man and you're 50 and you decide to deal with somebody who's 14, in Brazil, you will not go to jail.
That's sick. That's sick, bro.
However, you can get
Some
charged
more that David
with
shit.
if the person is compromised by manipulation, fear, or coercion. That means people are individuals aged 14 to 17. When grooming, transport, or exploitation is involved, consent does not legalize exploitation. Once you use apps and fake profiles, you are coordinating rides for minors using fake accounts, organizing secret meetings. These factors elevate the crime regardless of consent. Also, what problem is it? The US law still applies to Americans living abroad. So even if you are a person
I didn't know
with
that.
somebody that's 14 in Brazil, you as an American should not be engaging anybody under the age of 18 because Americans can be prosecuted for sexual activity with minors under 18 abroad.
Damn.
Regardless of the local age.
I didn't know that. I didn't
So
know that.
that's that. Also, these minors
Damn, son.
are possible victims under 14. Now, again, I know that passport bros are not all the same. But again, you have another incident in Brazil involving passport bros. This will most definitely go viral. It is.
Now, when you put this out 3 days ago, I never heard about it before.
Because you have guys who are not really caring about the brand. And I want to give a shout out to my brother Aaron Ferris at BMT. He's done a lot to try to elevate the brand. I believe it was him that came with the name Passport Bros. Then anybody can come in and kind of join the group and can give the group a bad name, like what you're seeing here. And this is exactly what has happened. So I hope that the guy definitely pays the price. I don't really like Floyd. Just even before this, it's pathetic, it's terrible. But guys, we need to get your boy J. Jackson back again.
I'm trying to find a Trap More Ross video, y'all. Hold on. Trap More Ross. I think he put out some David shit today. Or yesterday. Let me see. I'm sure he put out some David shit we didn't cover. Let me see. Trap More Ross. Trap More Ross. Yeah, that's it right there. Did David Label know about the murder? We already did all that. I'm trying to Trap More Ross joint. We are now reacting to Trap More Ross.
What if I told you there's a place where I can break things my way? That there's the most
Trapmore gang, ever since it was revealed that there might have been more people inside David's circle that might have had something to do with or at least known about the mysterious death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez, the 14-year-old girl who was found deceased in the trunk of David's Tesla near his house in the Hollywood Hills. Now, one of the biggest names that has come up in this, I guess, right now it still feels like a rumor, but apparently it all comes off the back of a grand jury questioning. And one of the names that comes up a lot, right, we've seen this article on Court TV, grand jury reveals details, okay, in the Celeste Hernandez case linked to David. One of the big names that keeps coming up is Robert Morgenroth. Robert, man, what was going on, Robert? Okay, according to TMZ, Morgenroth was overheard describing LA County Deputy District Attorney Beth Silverman as very pushy when questioning why he didn't call the police after learning of the discovery. Morgenroth allegedly continued, I said, I feel like I didn't have the responsibility to do that and just wanted to continue with the tour, okay? How crazy is that that's what this person said to the grand jury after being questioned? Why didn't you do anything? Robert Morgenroth, general manager of Mogul Vision record label, testified before the grand jury. Okay, they said, what was going on? Why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you do anything? Why didn't you call the cops? But the other person that they said might have had something to do with this was an uncooperative female witness who recently indeed refused to testify.
That's the one I thought they said she went outside the country or something like that. She went abroad. So they gonna have to, if they gotta get her, they gonna look for, hopefully she's in a country that she could be extradited back to
Right,
America.
uncooperative witness was apparently due to be arrested, but this was all the way back on December the 10th. It's now been 2 weeks since this, and there has been no women arrested. Okay, apparently it was a woman. Okay, they're basically saying this person represents this woman basically represents multiple people in the case. Okay, there's one witness is so uncooperative, she is about to be arrested. So they said that it was indeed a woman. Now, today we're going to have a closer look at some of the people around David. Okay, the management team.
He said she was about to be arrested.
Since this, and there has been no women arrested. Okay, apparently it was a woman. Okay, be arrested, but this was all the way back on December the 10th. It's now been 2 weeks since this, and there has been no women arrested. Okay, apparently.
So they basically got like an FTA, a failure to appear in court. So when you get an FTA, they coming to get you because you got to face the judge.
Was a woman. Okay, they're basically saying this person represents this woman basically represents multiple people in the case. Okay, there's one witness is so uncooperative, she is about to be arrested. So they've said that it was indeed a woman. Now, today we're going to have a closer look at some of the people around David. Okay, the management team behind David and some of the people that might have been around when these things are going left, when rumors are swirling that he's in a relationship with a runaway minor, when she's suddenly disappearing, he's dropping his Withered album, it's got all these references to death, and within a few months, she's being found dead in the car after it's been towed. It's absolutely crazy, okay? So we're going to work out who is most likely going to be the woman who they're saying is not cooperative. Now, there is a pretty good theory around this, okay? But before we give you that theory, we're going to have to go all the way back to the start. Robert Morgenroth, okay, he is just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more interesting people. So apparently, okay, the label Mogul Vision was apparently established by Lil Mosey and Smoke Puff's manager, Josh Marshall, okay, the other person who was involved in the career of David, okay? Arista Records teams with Josh Marshall to launch Mogul Vision Music, all right? They're partnering with notable artist managers to launch joint venture record labels. All right? They basically decided to team with Lil Mosey's manager, Arista Records, and Josh Marshall, best known for managing Smoke Perp and Lil Mosey, confirmed the launch of Mogul Vision Music. The joint venture label focused on breaking talent and building artists' careers through A&R branding and marketing strategies. Based in New York, Marshall will serve as CEO of the label. Mogul Vision's first signings include Blatina, an Atlanta rapper, and Kenny Hoopla. Okay? Now, Lil Mosey, okay, he's most known for this 2020 track, Blueberry Faygo. Okay, you might remember this. This was a banger. All right, this was legendary.
Let's go to Starsonage, y'all.
Right.
This was
I've been getting copyright claims.
11 hours on the Starsonage. Give me a second.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is based.
Most people who was caught at Diddy party did not know that he had 250 tape recorders in that house. That's a big house. But he had 250 tape recorders.
Do you think that hip-hop culture was on trial as much as Sean Combs was?
Not all. Look, if I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as hip-hop is fine with his behaviors. There's no one else being vocal. So you would look at it and just say, because that mind your business, or let me not say nothing about nothing, or those things, it would allow the entire culture to register as if they're for that behavior.
Just when people thought the Diddy documentary closed the book, 50 Cent stepped back into the spotlight and made it real clear he wasn't finished yet. Instead of wrapping things up, he started teasing unreleased tapes, raw footage, and moments so intense they allegedly left grown men emotional. The streets immediately caught on, because this wasn't just talk, it sounded like a warning. One clip already had the internet buzzing last year, the one that spread everywhere.
What? Yo, wait a minute! Wait, you didn't hear this? No!
Yo, Diddy had that man in the room. Look, yes, I put my ear to the door and I brought the phone because Diddy started going in overdrive. I didn't know what the was going on, but I just heard balls slapping against ass cheeks. I heard struggling and taking I heard being like, yeah, daddy, when he started all that daddy this and daddy that, and then I heard some hollering and struggling like, yeah, I kept the phone there and I recorded all.
And had people shocked by what they thought they were seeing. At the time, Meek wasted no time trying to shut it down. He jumped online fast, calling the clip fake, saying it was AI, blaming bots, and claiming there was a coordinated campaign to smear his name.
You think that audio that they put out was real?
Yeah, that was real. Nikki put that up to air. That Nikki recorded that at the freak off in the Calabasas. She been waiting to drop that shit with me. She just wasn't gonna tell nobody it was Diddy. But now that Diddy out there, why not?
So then who's the guy who's claiming he recorded it?
Oh, somebody that got paid?
He wrote, Oaks, my voice so powerful as a black man from the ghetto worldwide, they want it gone. I'm a real king, straight out the trenches, under control of no human.
Okay, so. But that's not a diss. Meek likes being brought up in that, so I don't know why you lower his thing. You think you're doing him a favor. He's very, very happy being mentioned, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
They learned how to damage can't stop us of brands from bots and campaigns like politicians.
He says, I'm gonna kill you academics, and what I'm gonna do is, he says, first things first, he says, someone send me academics address.
Like he said, I'll die to shut you down.
Yeah, then he says, I'm going to die to do it.
Strong words, heavy energy, and a message that sounded like resistance. But the problem was the internet wasn't reacting on vibes alone. People started picking apart the details. The audio didn't sound random, and whispers began spreading that someone inside that party, allegedly a security guard, claimed he recorded it himself. That rumor alone shifted the whole tone because now it wasn't about theories. It was about act.
All right, I'm back, y'all. I had to take a little hiatus, had to use the bathroom to get my wine. Fine wine. Oh shit. Get my fine wine. My old Smokies. And the pour up, y'all. I got that port. That port.
Success. That's when Jaguar Wright stepped in and made things explode.
Happy New Year.
More, she went public claiming Meek's ex, Nicki Minaj, was allegedly behind the leak. According to her, Nicki supposedly paid the bodyguard and helped orchestrate everything. That claim was wild on its own, but what made it worse was Nicki later appearing on a podcast and joking that Meek loves controversy and wasn't even bothered by the leaked audio. She laughed it off, kept it light, but that casual tone made people stop and look twice. Then academics jumped into the mix, and when he speaks, it never stays quiet.
Real life.
Yeah. Diddy gang, Meek Millie in real life. Don't ever disrespect me. You heard that?
Meek.
He started hinting that Meek was allegedly Diddy's favorite, and that's when Meek completely lost control online. He fired off emotional posts and threats, saying he was going to unalive academics. That reaction flipped public sympathy fast because instead of letting the situation cool, it looked like panic taking the wheel. Big words were thrown around, big promises made, and then suddenly, nothing. No proof dropped, no updates, no follow-up.
Hey, what's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
But just silence. And in internet culture, silence after loud energy doesn't look neutral, it looks suspicious. After that, Meek tried switching lanes. He publicly aligned himself with the so-called No Diddy gang, distancing himself like he wanted zero association with that name. But the internet doesn't erase history. Old clips resurfaced immediately, videos of Diddy jokingly calling Meek daddy.
Now, because this is a lot of the personal footage of Diddy. It shocked a lot of people. And I know, 50, the way you run, this cannot be all that you have. Is there other stuff that you just have not shown?
Yeah, well, everything couldn't make it's only for 4 episodes.
Right.
So it was a lot. You had to pick and choose things like.
So are you coming out? I know next year's going to be a number 2. Season 2?
I just put it on YouTube.
I just put it on YouTube. Well, we can subscribe again.
Stuff people laughed at before suddenly felt uncomfortable when replayed through a darker lens. The reactions online went wild. One user joked, his ass is on fire. Another said, that hole burning, cooling it in the pool.
You know, man. I'm actually shaking right now. Look at this. I just got a notice of a $58,000 settlement for my car wreck, and it all.
It's so smooth, freaking you gotta try it.
Yes.
Real.
People weren't holding back, and the jokes kept piling up as more footage and photos came back into circulation. Then there were the pictures from Meek's infamous 27th birthday party in Vegas, the one Diddy reportedly hosted at the Parisian Palace. Matching outfits, coordinated entrances, dancers everywhere, and people laid out as part of the party setup. Guests later described the mansion as completely wrecked by mourning, broken glass, used protection scattered, blood on sheets, belongings left behind, total chaos.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friend. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
This is a special birthday for both of us.
Yeah.
Because it's. Hey, what's up, buddy? Good morning, buddy. How are you feeling today? Just tell him we right here, baby. We gonna make some magic tonight?
And according to whispers that never fully disappeared, that was the same night the compromising recording was allegedly made. Fast forward to now, and 50 Cent drops Sean Combs' The Reckoning. Not only that, he starts hinting that he's sitting on and more footage the public hasn't seen yet. Immediately, the streets circle back to one name, Meek Mill, because if 50 really opens that vault.
Yes, man. I sold my Lamborghini, I sold my Rolls Royce, I sold my Cadillacs. Yes, sir. I ain't gonna lie. This thing humble yourself. I ain't gonna cap to you. Fuck, I gotta floss for you next, bro. Thank God what I got. I ain't gotta floss for you this, man.
The real question isn't whether Meek denied it, but whether he's just the beginning. Another name keeps popping up right behind him, out of French Montana. This side-eye didn't start yesterday. French and Diddy weren't just industry friends, they were inseparable. Same trips, same parties, same rooms, same energy. Old photos resurfaced that had people zooming in, questioning why the body language looked way too comfortable for two bros. One user straight up said they looked like they were spooning. Diddy never hid his favoritism either. He named the vodka flavor after French, took him everywhere, pushed his career heavy and treated him like family. The whispers never stopped though, with people claiming that bad boy support didn't come free.
But they say nah, I ain't gonna say that. I heard about that though, but I ain't about to say that.
What?
I ain't about to say on the Diddy. Diddy what? No. They said he was. Diddy what? I've been saying it.
I ain't never heard this one.
They said he was. I didn't know that.
Now I'm about to Google it. I ain't never heard this one.
Yeah, nobody would ever say that one. Oh yeah. They said that he said it was Diddy's boy toy. I was in Jamaica with him.
Oh, I see it now.
See?
Why can't Cyrus in Jamaica with his alleged boo Diddy?
Allegedly,
I would not be laughing at no shit like that right
attached,
there, bro.
favors
I don't see where that's funny at, bro. Like, they talking about you being Diddy boo boy toy. Come on, bro. Like, are you laughing, you giggling and laughing, man. Come on. I mean, dog. Like,
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
For real?
Behind closed doors, and loyalty demanded off camera. That birthday footage resurfaced too. French shirtless, oiled up. Diddy right beside him singing like he was celebrating himself in French. Then there's that clip that aged real bad where Diddy talks about making magic together. Back then, it was brushed off as jokes. Now people are saying that wasn't celebration energy, it was ownership energy. One user wrote, another said Diddy sounds way too happy and asking how are you feeling today, should all tell you. And with rumors of tapes still floating, folks aren't shocked. French's name keeps coming up right behind Meek. Then comes YK Osiris and the timeline gets ugly fast. Back in 2021, YK was publicly struggling, selling off expensive cars, crying online, saying he'd been humbled. People felt bad for him until suddenly, boom, luxury villa in Jamaica, private views, 5-star living, and who just happened to be there? Diddy. YK tried calling it a healing trip, but the post told another story. Same pool, same property.
I know that nigga had to heal after that.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
I know a nigga had to heal after that trip. Right.
Same backdrop, same energy. Then came the massage video and the fruit platter post, and at that point, the internet wasn't confused anymore. It was connecting dots. That angle alone had people convinced Diddy wasn't just present. They believed he was behind the camera the whole time. The streets started calling the Jamaica getaway a sponsored trip, not a vacation. What looked like healing suddenly felt transactional, and once that narrative took hold, it refused to let go. Things cracked wide open when YK's baby mother jumped online and dropped a bomb.
Not things cracked wide open.
Details. She claimed she caught him with another man, said no names, offered no explanation, and disappeared immediately. That silence made people start connecting dots, and many began wondering if the mystery man was Diddy. When YK later sat down on the Breakfast Club and Charlemagne brought up the rumors, the energy shifted instantly. His body language said more than his words ever could. Eyes moving fast, hands fidgeting, hoodie being pulled tighter. He laughed, but it wasn't humor, it was nerves. That moment stuck with viewers because panic doesn't hide well on camera.
I just want to die. That's what I want to do. I want to die. That's what I want to do. I want to crash out right now and just like this like life. I swear to God.
It is, man. This industry is not what you think it is. Don't let these people fool you, man. Before in the social media, I'm gonna give y'all a little background with me, man. Like, my life is not perfect, man. Don't think because I'm on Instagram showing this, showing that, I don't got a perfect life either. And I want you to understand that just because all these rappers show all this money and show all this fame, don't think their life is good. It's not. These people are always faking and let you know that this is not what y'all want. Do something that's low-key, do something that can help you out, other than being a target or a flashy. Because God can take this away from you real quick, and it's not a blessing from God. And I tell people that 24/7, this is the devil's game. It is not. This is not no God.
But they said the devil was over music in heaven. That's what they said. That's what I heard. That's what I read.
Since then, YK's online behavior has looked unstable. He started posting about feeling used, feeling empty, and hinting that he didn't want to be here anymore. People split fast. Some saying he knew what he was walking into.
You see, I'm gonna tell you something. They always want you to, you know what these rappers, all these sayings, all these big rappers y'all look up to? They always tell you what the good part about, but they never tell you what the bad part.
Excuse me? You're reading wrong. Put these on. Show me your book. I'm gonna take a picture of it. Now it's gonna scan it and read it to you. Sit here with one foot.
They always tell you what the good part about, but they never tell you what the bad part. And that's crazy, man. Yeah, they got all this money, but they're dealing with emo spirits. They're dealing with killing themselves. They're dealing with, man, come on, man.
Others believing he was pushed into situations way above his level. Either way, if recordings exist, many feel his pain didn't come from nowhere. Another name kept circling back into the conversation, Usher. People forget Usher was very young when he lived with Diddy.
Moved to New York City. And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp?
Yeah, that's what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's.
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
It was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you
I
seeing?
went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. But I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at.
Sent to New York for mentorship and industry guidance. Years later, Usher admitted that what he saw during that time was curious.
Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
And added that he would never allow his own children to experience what he did.
Because I know the topic is sensitive. What happened to Usher?
Kid to the hospital. How you send him to the hospital? Man.
It's a goddamn Diddy sent Usher to the hospital.
Bleeding from the butt.
So apparently he had to heal. He had to heal. He had to heal too, goddamn.
And that's what was said. Oh, I didn't have a name for the kid at the time.
That statement aged louder with time. Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, later hinted that Usher was taken advantage of during those early years. Back then, many dismissed it as exaggeration. Today, those words don't sound so easy to ignore. Over the years, rumors followed Usher into adulthood, including lawsuits and health-related allegations tied to his personal life.
Filed a lawsuit in California this morning against Usher Raymond for failing to tell people he had a sexually transmitted disease before being intimate with them. According to the lawsuit, Mr. Raymond, better known by his performing name of Usher, was diagnosed with herpes back in 2009. Apparently, he has never publicly denied it. And Bloom filed the lawsuit.
So that's, I remember that they say Usher had herpes and they sued him. That shit, he got sued by a girl. Man, that girl was so goddamn fat. That bitch was built like a self-cleaning deep freezer. I was like, damn, Usher, you fucking with that, man? Like, you alright, bro? You good?
From the singer.
At the time, people laughed them off and quote out. Now they replay them differently. What made things darker was what came next. Usher eventually became a mentor himself, which brings the story to Justin Bieber. Justin was just 13 when Usher introduced him to Diddy.
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like where we hanging out, what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have been given custody of him. He signed to Usher. I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
Going crazy.
Crazy.
Old footage resurfaced of Diddy joking.
Buck fool crazy is nasty work. What?
Spending 48 hours alone with Justin, saying what they were doing couldn't be discussed and calling it every kid's dream. At the time, it was brushed off as jokes. Today, people see those comments through a much more serious lens. Years later, Justin began breaking down publicly. He cried in interviews, spoke about betrayal, addiction, and isolation, and quietly unfollowed nearly everyone tied to his early career. Usher gone, Scooter Braun gone. That didn't feel random. Many believe Justin was distancing himself from people who failed to protect him when it mattered most. Now, with talk of unreleased footage back in the air, people are questioning whether Justin's emotional scars connect to moments that were never meant to surface.
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn and everyone, telling me they love me. And
bro got the Richard Pryor mustache. Bro got I don't know what kind of mustache. He look like he's supposed to be playing on a Western on this damn video. This nigga look like he's supposed to be on a Western. This Justin Bieber, I remember this was like, little kid, like,
Anyway, another artist pulled into the conversation is Burna Boy, and this one shook the international
scene. They got Burna Boy in that shit.
He was twice as tall, a Grammy followed, and public praise flooded in.
Justin Bieber.
Don't tell me goddamn Diddy was messing with Burna Boy too. This man, come on, bro, y'all capping. Hold on, they gotta be capping.
His former manager, Scooter Braun, on Instagram, which sounds really minor.
It sounds sort of very high school.
But it is a big deal, especially for celebrities. And then the really surprising thing is after Justin did that, Scooter deactivated his entire Instagram account.
Emotional posts, hand-holding moments, and brotherly energy were celebrated at first.
I wonder why the hell Scooter Braun would deactivate his account. Like, what's going on with that?
How you look at your brother, how you look at your wife.
But fans are now replaying everything in slow motion. Then an image hit the internet allegedly showing Burna in a compromising position with Diddy. No proof, no confirmation, but it sparked chaos. Clips resurfaced of Burna getting unusually close to Diddy.
Everybody just get rush, they go America to snap with Diddy that year. But you know, after Bonner post his picture with Didi. The next year, at the same particular year, Bonner won Grammy. You understand me? All I did is
strong accent.
So I just wonder. Bonner boy, this video, I dey ask you questions. Don't get offended. Now question I dey ask. How many oil did you drop for your Nash before they give you that trophy? Bonner, how many oil they rub for your Nash before?
He from Africa, so he would know.
Bonner, I'm asking you a serious question.
They're trying to see him out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists.
Including one where Diddy lifted him off the ground during their first meeting. Back then it looked playful. Now it looks uncomfortable to some viewers. Nigerian artist Speed Darlington mocked the situation publicly. Burna reacted hard, though threats were made, authorities got involved, and then silence followed.
Well, he was talking to Cole. No, I said I'm not giving my ass. Look, that's not a code. Ain't no code to that. I'm not bending over even no couches. Y'all niggas ain't running up my asshole. Ain't no studio for me to go get rent and be looking like somebody's funny. Get the fuck out of here. None of that shit.
Fans started questioning why Burna moved like someone protecting something fragile. When Diddy's deleted post resurfaced hinting he helped secure Burna's Grammy, the relationship started looking less like brotherhood and more like leverage. Since then, Burna's behavior has raised eyebrows.
I mean, yo, Diddy, you gave me the ooh slash cool slash. You gave me the ooh slash move off. The smooth smash. Diddy. Yeah, son. You know what I mean? You gave me the ooh slash move off.
Canceled shows, public outbursts, mood shifts. Fans noticed the change. With rumors of tapes floating again, many believe Burna's name sits closer to the surface than he wants. And just when it seems like enough names have been pulled in, Brashear Gray enters the picture.
Do you think there's a lot of undercover brothers in the industry?
Oh no, Queen. We don't know nothing about undercovers. Oh no. We don't know about that.
Okay. Because I do.
Young, talented, and once positioned as a rising star from Empire, his life unraveled fast. Jaguar Wright hinted that Brashear was drawn into industry circles he wasn't prepared for, allegedly involving powerful figures. Lawsuits followed, mental health struggles surfaced, arrests happened, then and isolation set in. Industry contacts stopped returning his calls, and Orlando Brown echoed a similar claims, saying acting unstable was sometimes the only way to survive after seeing too much.
Let me ask you something, Reggie. What do you think about the undercover community?
I think that if you roll undercover, right?
Which Ray J is rolling undercover, so Ray J is definitely undercover. He's one of Diddy's boy toys too.
There's no need to because
he went on Piers Morgan, goddamn, defending Diddy.
And the opportunities are endless if the truth can set you free.
He alleged that powerful figures tried to control him and pushed him toward harmful behavior. Another heartbreaking name tied into broader industry failure is Aaron Carter. While Aaron never directly named Diddy, he spoke openly about being exposed to adult environments too young and about people who should have protected him failing to do so. His words now echo louder in a world finally willing to listen. People close to him said he had been opening up more before his passing, finally talking about trauma and moments he never had the tools to process as a kid. He was unpacking things he buried for years, things that shaped him long before fame showed up. And when you line up Brashear, Aaron, and Orlando next to the others, the pattern starts screaming. Fast rise, elite access, and then a public breakdown. Now let's talk about the next name spinning through the mix. Soulja Boy. This one loud because Soulja has been moving like he's completely untouchable. Ever since Diddy went down, Soulja's been clowning everybody. throwing shots at Diddy, Meek, and anyone else tied to the mess, posting reckless stuff online, calling other rappers cupcakes.
And he was like, take this white bitch. Like he was very like into like the race flag stuff. But here's the thing, I don't know if this was really him or it was like drunk him or like, yo, I'm nervous. I'm like, is he gonna hurt me? Is he making music? Oh, I'm so nervous. And that thing was big, Tasha.
What skinny man got big?
No, that thing was big, Tasha.
What skinny man got?
I'm gonna be honest, that thing was like fat and it goes, here's the thing.
Oh my God. Tasha K, bro, she crazy, bro. This shit
It goes
wild.
to the left.
Okay.
Like Tasha, it's long and it goes to the left.
Oh, okay.
This is weird.
Yeah, to the left.
Acting like he was never anywhere near the madness. Remember when he made that wild post saying, if Diddy ever tried me like any of these gay rappers, I would have killed his B-ass? Then he jumped on X and tweeted, didn't Diddy F you in the ass? He was loud, aggressive, and trying to look fearless, but the streets don't forget, and they definitely don't ignore receipts. Nicki Minaj once hinted on Liv that Soulja wasn't as clean as he pretends. She asked him directly about low-key rappers in the industry. He laughed it off, but it wasn't a confident laugh. It was that nervous laugh you do when someone almost says your name out loud. That moment stuck with people more than he realized. Then Nicki followed it up with an IG Liv alongside Ray J, talking about undercover rappers who deal with men on the low but disrespect women publicly. She didn't name names, but the internet already had one face in mind: Soulja Boy. Folks felt like those darts weren't random. An old podcast clip resurfaced too, with William the Baddest claiming Soulja got involved in some questionable behind closed doors activity at an industry event. Back then, people brushed it off as clout chasing. Today, with talk of unreleased tapes and hidden footage, people are rewatching everything Soulja ever laughed away. What really raises eyebrows is Soulja's behavior pattern. He always tries to expose others before anyone.
Hey, I'm going back to
That's usually
the same
not
channel,
confident.
man. I'm going back to the same channel.
This is the ED, it's not for the pin departure.
Welcome back. Who else is going to get this place through the 4th of July?
Star Snitch
So they don't give
official.
you the trophies. I got the checks. I didn't get the Jay got trophies, man. That's because he signed that contract.
What contract?
Oh, yeah. If you don't sign, you don't give him a trophy, she ain't coming.
Oh, the Beyonce done ran down on you once, Fifth. Come on.
She did worse. She jumped up and thing off the ledge. I was like, I didn't really know what to do. That's the James. He says to James, he's like, he'll look at you and go, nah, that happened.
Beyonce jumped down.
He jumped down. She was like on a windowsill.
Right.
It was in Vegas. She said, come on, jump the tongue. She jumped down. She's like, and I'm like, wait, what are you doing? That's me and Jay-Z.
The hope wasn't it.
I'm talking to Jay.
Talking to Jay.
She got talked to Jay. She jumped down. Come on, I said,
They about to jump you.
Lucky Solange wasn't there.
Yeah, you lucky Solange wasn't there.
I would have had to reboot.
You say you would have had to reboot that.
Nah, she came like she was ready. Like I thought something was gonna happen. And I'm like, yo, whoa. You're throwing me off now. Because I don't know exactly how to respond. You are still Beyonce. I'm sitting on. She go, what is this Jason? I'm like, wait, what happened? I look at Jay, he goes,
Beyonce is reportedly getting ready to make a quiet exit after 50 Cent announced he's planning to drop a second documentary, this time exposing everyone who ever worked closely with Diddy. Jay-Z and Beyonce were allegedly supporting Diddy behind the scenes.
We have 50 Cent coming out confirming that he does have more dirt on Diddy that he didn't even get to put in the 4 episodes on the Netflix Diddy documentary. And since it's 50 Cent, it's so hard
Crazy.
telling what in the world he all has, but he said this in reference to the video footage that he got of the man recording Diddy before Diddy
That beat
went to jail.
going
And
crazy.
on top of all
That
this,
beat
he
going
said
crazy.
he came forward to him with allegations that didn't even make it into this Netflix Diddy documentary.
That motherfucker hit.
He's about to drop this all on YouTube. He sat down to explain some of this on the Cherry Show yesterday, and she said, It shocked a lot of people to see this personal footage of Diddy. I know 50, the way you run, this cannot be all that you have. Is there other stuff that has not been shown? He said, yeah, well, there's some stuff that couldn't make it in because there was only 4 episodes in the Netflix Diddy documentary. And then Sherry asked 50 Cent, does this mean that there's going to be a part 2 of the Netflix Diddy documentary? And he said that he's just going to put it on YouTube. This
motherfucker said he gonna put it on YouTube. So he gonna put, hey, if he put 140 hours on YouTube, bro, you know he'll break the internet with that shit. But you know, if he really did do that shit would break YouTube, bro. That shit would fuck the algorithm up, nigga.
is not the only time in this interview that this man said this. Like, he is sure on YouTube for whatever reason, and he was even laughing about it. And in my opinion, I feel like why he wants to put this on YouTube is because Netflix probably wouldn't let him put in certain things because of liability. I think this is one of the main reasons why some of the things weren't talked about in the Diddy documentary. But like I said, also, he is cut down to a certain amount of time. Netflix gave him 4 episodes, so he has to put everything in those 4 episodes. And she asked him, out of all of the people that were coming forward, have there been any new tips that you have gotten since it's been released? He said, well, yeah. Everyone starts to feel a little more comfortable when they see other people telling their truth about it.
For years, and now that spotlight is turning in their direction, the pressure's getting real fast. People are asking the big question now. Is Beyonce preparing to walk away from Jay-Z, or is she trying to step back from the industry entirely before things explode?
Last time, and Piers Morgan said that they're not here to defend themselves. Do you think the Carters will speak about any of this? About what's going on?
Beyonce is moving hundreds of thousands, millions of followers every day. And she still hasn't said anything. Just pretending like life is great in Paris.
Is it her place to say so?
I mean, probably not, considering she's gonna be indicted for anything she say. These are criminals. Diddy is a drug dealer, and so is Jay-Z. The proof is there. How many people does he have to be aware of before people see him for who he is?
It seems like these artists are trying to run away from their past. Diddy changed his name multiple times to say, that's not me, I'm trying to move beyond Diddy, I'm love now.
What kind of love? Baby oil love?
Not baby oil love, she said. Baby oil love.
Baby love. Explicit love, hey!
Jay-Z already knew 50 Cent was eventually coming for him, but what shocked him was the footage revealed in the docu-series so far. He reportedly never expected 50 to have access to that level of material, and insiders say Jay knows it's only a matter of time before more footage involving him and Diddy gets released. 50 already hinted at this publicly, and he's allegedly sitting on over 140 hours of footage.
I know people in the industry, been around for a long time, was there when he first started dating Beyonce at 17, 18, he was 30-something. You didn't know his age. I look back and see how old Jay-Z was. I think Jay-Z was born in like 69 or 67.
69.
Something like that, 67 right there. 69. I think he was born in 69. Beyonce
69.
was born in 81. You know what I'm saying? But back then, in 81, when we was in the club together, 98, 99, she wasn't even supposed to be in the club, but she was in the club. It was Club Eugene, and Jay was dating her. And at that time, if you look at Jay's age, he was about 30 years old. So, is she still somewhat a child? To me, she is. But I guess they protect child. That's how you protect a child. You know, dating her at the age of 30-something years old, and she's 17, 18 years old.
Damn.
If that's her true age. We really don't know her true age because Gabrielle Union said she went to junior high school with her, and Gabrielle Union is considered 6-7 years older than Beyonce age that she did. So we really don't know.
That could implicate some of the most powerful names in hip-hop history. The tension between 50 Cent and Jay-Z didn't come out of nowhere. Their rivalry goes way back, with claims that Jay tried everything he could to block 50's rise at different points in his career. But instead of folding, 50 kept pushing, kept winning, and came back even bigger. Now people believe 50 sees this moment as payback, and he's not just aiming at Jay-Z, he's dragging Beyonce into the storm right alongside him. A lot of fans have always pointed out the difference in how these two men move. Jay-Z is often accused of quietly blocking people around him from getting ahead, while 50 has built a reputation for putting others on and lifting people up. That contrast is now being replayed online as people re-examine old alliances and industry behavior. There are also resurfacing allegations about Jay-Z being present at Diddy's infamous parties, where rumors of infidelity and shady behavior followed him for years. Some insiders claim Beyonce was aware of Jay's lifestyle choices and chose to look the other way.
But Jaguar has been warning us about Jay-Z. Jay-Z has now had an official lawsuit. It's everywhere. It's now being talked about louder than ever. I guess, does that give you some peace to know that people are finally really questioning this man?
It's emboldening me. I spoke on Pierce Morgan. I said that I had 3 victims that I've been working with, victims of the Carter.
They made him take that interview down, that Pierce Morgan interview with her. They made him take them down. Like Jay-Z them called them immediately,
That were ready to come forward. This might help them feel a little more confident now.
But it was already too late because really people that already done said the interview, clipped it up. So it's like, ain't nothing you really can hide. It's over with that.
This is great because he's been evading. But the thing is, everyone in the backdrop knew that he was the celebrity John Doe. Everybody knew that. They knew it when I did Pierce Morgan.
Is Beyonce Celebrity B?
I hope to God not. But she was around. And she's very... she's got enough on her plate. After everything that happened with the election and everything that's happening right now, I'm not going to dump on that woman. She got better fish to fry. What I will say is that her husband, she knows exactly who he is.
Yeah.
She knows. She knows.
Prioritizing power and brand over confrontation. These claims are allegations, but they're fueling intense backlash as more stories resurface. One of the most sensitive topics being discussed involves long-standing rumors about how Jay-Z and Beyonce's relationship began. Industry insiders like Gene Deal have claimed that people talked for years about their early connection, but it's important to note that these are allegations and speculation, not proven facts. Still, critics argue that unhealthy power dynamics were normalized in the industry for decades, shaping how relationships were viewed and justified. Even more names are being dragged into the conversation, with past stories involving other female artists being re-examined under a new lens.
What's funny to me, man, is that Diddy used to hate Jay-Z. He hated Jay-Z enough when he was trying to get Ja Rule to go at Jay-Z. This is back in the early 2000s.
Did Diddy always say negative things about Jay around you?
The time when he was trying to get Ja Rule to go at Jay, yeah, he was. They worked it out.
Was there a reason behind it?
I couldn't tell you the reason behind it. It's probably because Big had died. I don't know what it was, man. I don't know why he wanted Ja Rule to go at Jay. I guess if he kept them beefing or kept them into some bullshit, he could rise up in between both of them. You know what I mean?
I felt certain earning my bachelor's degree would open up opportunities for me.
I felt supported throughout the entire.
It definitely was.
Again, these claims remain allegations, but fans believe this is why Beyonce and Jay-Z appear so uneasy right now. Gene Deal also explained that both Jay-Z and Diddy understood power, control, and influence long before the public caught on. The key difference, according to him, was how they operated. Diddy stayed loud, flashy, and constantly visible, while Jay-Z moved quietly behind closed doors, inside boardrooms, and around people who could shield him if anything ever went wrong.
What point of view, because I know you heard the statement that, Jay lawyer came out with about how he wasn't really friends with Diddy. From your point of view, was they really friends or no?
How close was Diddy and Jay-Z?
they was close enough that they wasn't playing basketball, they wasn't playing baseball, they wasn't playing football, and they wasn't playing hockey or soccer for Diddy to come on stage, pat him on his ass, and then make the statement to people in the world that can't nobody call me Sean but Jay-Z. Now, I don't know what kind of statement, and I can't say, I wish I could say half a homo, but I know I can't say it, but I don't know what kind of half a homo that is, and you trying to say that you're not close to somebody. You coming on stage, patting them on their ass, and then you making a broad statement to the public, can't nobody call me Sean but Sean Carter. And I heard Jay-Z said the same thing about them. But they were so close that they had matching white girls together. Because when they used to see each other, they used to say, yo, how your skinny white girl doing? He's like, yo, how your skinny white girl doing? So, I guess that's a certain type of closeness.
Gene explained that this is exactly why Jay-Z almost never puts himself in obvious compromising situations.
What's the call with Jay? Yeah, about Jay. I go, oh shoot, like that had to be there.
We getting tighter. You know what I'm saying? And united we stand. And ain't nothing else.
Black excellence, they're sitting there like, yeah. Paying their brush like, I hate you, man. I don't know if anything going on here. This is the one time I'm gonna be with you, because this year. Yeah. Come on, bro.
While Diddy built his empire by being everywhere, knowing everyone, and staying loud in every room, Jay-Z did the opposite.
Look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. No, what are you talking about? He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at this career, you know what I'm saying? Come on, he show up. He's got 20 now. He had like 18 since he been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life. You're not wrong. He was 1-6. Since he's been drinking, it's the cup.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
I've absolutely been treated differently.
The accolades. Because he's no longer viewed as what, like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones, because of the position of Beyonce.
Oh, wow.
He built power by limiting access, keeping distance, and controlling who could get close to him. According to Gene, that quiet strategy protected Jay for decades, until one major mistake blew it all up.
Boy, Diddy really screwed over Mark Agnifilo. I gotta say, this is awful that Diddy owes his life to Mark Agnifilo, literally his life, because he could have gotten life in prison were it not for Mark Agnifilo, his defense lawyer, who had a brilliant strategy. And Diddy screwed him over when he hired this videographer to chronicle his life without telling Mark Agnifilo that when Diddy and Mark were on the phone, this videographer was recording. What Mark clearly expected to be an attorney-client privileged relationship. Now, it is true that the client holds that privilege. The lawyer doesn't. But Mark's clear expectation was that this was a private conversation.
He could fuck his whole law career because they're like, you taking people like this that's recording you and putting out, you know what I'm saying?
Private conversation.
Private conversation.
And he and Diddy could talk openly. And Mark could talk to Diddy, not just as a client, but as a person who tried to guide him in a time leading up to his arrest. And unbeknownst to Mark Agnifilo, Diddy has got this guy recording the conversation as he's sitting there saying, "You are screwing this up. You are messing up this case. We're losing." And knowing that that's on tape, and it's almost like he's performing for the camera and not telling Mark what's going on.
That mistake was trusting Diddy. Being closely connected to Diddy is now coming back to haunt Jay-Z in a way nobody expected. Insiders believe trusting Diddy may end up being the biggest error Jay.
Yeah, that might be the biggest mistake Jay ever made, fucking with Diddy. It might fall back on him. I mean, I don't know.
Z and Beyonce ever made.
Have you had pain or other complications after hernia mesh surgery and had a revision surgery?
Like, it's just odd to see him in that getting looked at in that way by white people. Like Jay does, yeah, I hope that's.
So I don't feel him what he's saying. He's saying that basically they looking at Diddy in a different light, but I mean, TMZ and all these other people did documentaries on Diddy also. So why y'all got smoke for 50? That's what I want to know. What's the smoke for 50?
The world will, like, people on a certain level have been with him a certain way where he couldn't do no wrong for like 25 years straight. It's the first time he's not getting a pass with white media. Like he can control black media because a lot of them either work or do business with him. But like, Big Champs can't get him out of this one. And neither can Charlemagne. Because, those are the guys that hold him down no matter what he does anyway. So you got to get to People Magazine and Entertainment Tonight right now. Because they on his head. But the question is why? Like, why now? Because for me, I'd be like, yo, that's so ridiculous. Yo, take that to trial. You're not going to win. Let's get a deposition or something. So I don't know why they on his head so much, pause. But I've never seen him, under this, I've never seen him in this position to have to explain himself. Pause.
How do you feel about the statement he came out with?
I mean, I didn't hear him say anything. I heard a piece of, like I said, for me, I'm doing an interview, so I talk. I thought it was long. For a statement, I thought it was long, pause. But, I think right now, his silence is the worst thing for him if he is innocent. He needs to let people ask him questions. He needs to be able to say his side of the story, as opposed to letting that lawyer talk. Because that lawyer, I don't trust that lawyer because I went to court with him.
Diddy has already shown he will turn on anyone around him if it helps him escape trouble. Even people.
This nigga said pause like 13 times, my nigga.
Who once protected him. Gene also pointed out that Diddy didn't even hesitate to drag his own lawyer into the chaos.
He did, man. He got everybody going, man. He's getting a lot of backlash, man. Like, people are like mad at 50 for getting behind this thing.
Well, see, the thing about it is that people are off their rabbit mind. And they gonna sit up here and they gonna say some stuff like, they try to make it up like, it's because of a girl, it's because of a woman. A man that can have any woman in the damn world, you understand, go any parts of the world, find beautiful women all over the world, is willing to do whatever he wants to. I'm gonna be mad because this dude got this one. Nah, it's bigger and it's more than that. They don't want to say, a lot of these cats out here don't want to tell the truth behind it.
We're seeing footage of Sean Diddy Combs in the days leading up to his arrest in New York last September.
You want to put stuff in my fanny jacket?
The exclusive video obtained by Netflix shows Combs debating with his lawyers about strategy.
Listen to me. I'm going to get off the phone right now, and I'm going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution. No matter what nobody said, let's just here and there, y'all are not working together the right way. We're losing.
The footage is part of a new, highly anticipated docuseries by director Alex Stapleton and rapper and executive producer Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, titled Sean Combs: The Reckoning. Was there anything that surprised you when you were watching?
I think it was surprising that he actually filmed it.
It was very interesting to watch a man who's known for his
brand presence. You know, he has a really amazing knack for marketing and all of that, and how he was sort of taking that into account in how he was coming off to the public.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
That move alone showed how far he's willing to go. Allegedly, Diddy doesn't care who gets caught in the blast radius as long as he finds a way out himself. Now things are getting legal. Reports claim Jay-Z is trying to push a cease and desist order to stop the documentary aimed at him. Jay and Diddy are allegedly saying that 50 Cent obtained the footage illegally. But here's where the story flips. According to people close to the situation,
Yo, Bonds. Yo, man, how 50 get, blah, blah, blah. Yo, huh? Take this out on that. Let me explain something to y'all. All right, whether it's NDAs, whether it's whatever. When these young boys come in, first of all, he only deal with young videographers because he want to rob them, and he know they want the opportunity to find Puff Daddy, P. Diddy. They want that opportunity, so they get him at a low price anyway. But when you stay out so many hours a day, Puff wants a videographer.
He should have paid them folks, bro, because he would have owned that footage, and they wouldn't have been able to put this documentary out if he would have actually just paid the videographer. The kind of money he got, he could have paid him on the spot.
With him 24 hours.
That's his fault.
On call. Whether we on the yacht, whether we on a ship, wherever we at, he wants to videotape that, right? So now, they come to agreement. They come to whatever the pay is gonna be. But then it be so many hours on that invoice that he don't want to pay. He gets in touch with the office. He gets in touch with the chief of staff. Yo, what is this I'm paying? What is this I'm paying? You know what you paying. You was outside all of these hours. It's 160 something hours in a week. You was outside 140. That's the invoice he put in. So now, being if you got a contract and he don't stand to that contract, guess what happens? He can do whatever he want to do with that footage.
50 legally purchased every piece of footage he owns. 50 knew Diddy had been filming content for a documentary he planned to release later. The real issue allegedly started when Diddy failed to pay his editor. Once that relationship collapsed, 50 stepped in and bought the footage fair and square. No hacking, no sneaking, just business. Behind the scenes, things between Beyonce and Jay-Z are reportedly reaching a breaking point. Insiders say a divorce could actually happen if this documentary drops. Beyonce is said to be exhausted from constantly cleaning up messes tied to Jay-Z's image and behavior. For years, she worked non-stop to protect her brand, rebuild public trust, and keep her legacy intact. She stood by Jay-Z during past scandals, even after public admissions of infidelity. But sources say this situation feels different. It's heavier, louder, and impossible to control. Fans have long described their relationship as deeply toxic, pointing to extreme power imbalances early on and years of control rumors that followed. These are allegations, but they fueled non-stop debate online. Combined with repeated cheating accusations, people now question how much Beyonce is willing to tolerate. Jay-Z has never looked this exposed. Dame Dash reportedly said he has never seen Jay-Z face scrutiny like this before. For decades, Jay seemed protected by media silence and industry loyalty. This time, the shield looks thin, even if it exists at all.
So now that footage goes to the highest bidder. And 50 had to be the highest bidder to get the video. This is business. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't in love with you. Everybody ain't dedicated. Everybody ain't loyal to the point of stupidity.
Just came across in that secret little Diddy footage that he paid from the videographer that Diddy didn't pay. They are saying 50 has footage that will not only add more time to Diddy's sentence, but Diddy might not ever come out. Listen up, check this out. Now y'all know that footage that where Diddy is behind the scenes talking to his lawyer and all of this stuff, and people like, damn, what was Diddy recording? Well, Diddy was recording because he thought he was about to beat the case, so he wanted to do a Netflix documentary. Didn't pay the guy, and then 50 got all 140 hours of footage of secret Diddy tactics.
140
In
hours.
racing in Formula One, IndyCar, or NASCAR, the best race teams have the best engineers.
That's rough.
Diddy tactics. Well, there's a guy named Neil who was mentioned in the court, works right up under Diddy, was organizing everything. Allegedly, they are saying that he is on film, tampering with witnesses, giving out addresses, offering money, bribing, we'll pay for your lawyers, all kind of shit that can be counted as witness tampering, obstruction of justice, and 50 of all people has this.
Oh yeah, I watched basketball today.
And I'm hearing that this could implicate Diddy's lawyers.
Yeah, I watched that shit.
They could be charged.
Hey man, that boy Cooper Flag, that boy bad. That boy bad. Cooper Flag is that's my new that my boy right there. I fuck with Coop.
50 isn't slowing down. He recently
Coop
posted
got
a video on
goddamn
Instagram
Coop.
confirming he's actively working on part 2 of the documentary right now. The pressure is building and everyone can feel it. This next documentary is expected to focus heavily on Jay-Z, and a lot of observers believe Beyonce may have finally reached her limit, not emotionally, but strategically. Staying silent worked before, standing by him worked before, but if Jay-Z's past decisions start spilling over and threatening the legacy
Oh hell yeah.
building, walking away,
I think I watched like 2 games. I watched that one and the New York game. I think I caught the end of that one. Then I watched the one with them in Golden State, and I don't think I caught the Laker game that came on. I was like, I kind of was tired and shit. I fell asleep.
the smartest move she's got left. What shocked Gene the most wasn't just the allegations themselves, but how people turned their anger toward a 50 Cent instead.
And I'm hearing that this 50 Cent documentary is just the fucking tip of the iceberg, and I like it.
What's crazy is this man in this video footage of 50 Cent's post starts talking about a specific name, a man named Neil. And this man goes on talking about.
It's an Ant-Man 2 loss. Your parlay. So you lost the parlay because of Ant-Man? Oh. What happened? He scored too many points or under?
How he heard that 50 Cent has this extra footage, but it's footage that could possibly lead to Diddy getting more charges. Like
You parlayed on
obstruction of justice, and
you parlayed
what's
on the
crazy
score or
about
something.
a Neil that he brings up in this is the fact that the other day, Diddy's former chef Jordan, who was somebody that was a witness during this trial, who was about to testify against Diddy before the prosecution took back some of their witnesses who were testifying, literally claimed that Neil Dominique, a former assistant of Diddy, is the one that told Diddy that she was subpoenaed to the grand jury at the very start of all of this. She wrote this whole big post to Neil Dominique and tagged him in it and said, I just want to put this out there because I've been debating how I wanted to handle the situation. Now, I don't know you from a can of paint, but I'm really wondering why you decided to tell Sean Combs that I was contacted by the feds. I saw that you wrote him a good character letter, too. Come to find out, you were actually providing public information on a whole bunch of people throughout the case. So my thing is, why were you so comfortable putting me in danger? Why were you so comfortable putting us?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Basketball getting a little better now. Like I'm kind of wanting to watch it a lot more because kind of fell off for a little while, but it's coming back.
People in danger. You provided addresses to him. Were you like a double agent working for the feds and Puff? This is actually crazy because she alleged that Neil Dominique was approached by the feds as well in this investigation into Diddy because he was a former assistant of Diddy.
Instead of holding Diddy accountable, critics started questioning why 50 was exposing things at all.
Hey, hit the like button. Let me see if you in here. Hit the like button.
Putting the truth out there. But
you comment, but I can't see.
50 didn't do this because of old beef.
Must be incognito.
50 Cent himself said he's actually working with Diddy's son on this project. That detail that matters a lot. If this were just about revenge, teaming up with Diddy's own family wouldn't make any sense at all. Instead, it points to something bigger. This project looks like it's being framed as documentation, not a hit job. Something meant to lay things out, record what happened, and let the facts speak for themselves, rather than just going after one name. So now the questions are stacking up fast. Does Beyonce walk away to protect everything she's built, or does she stay and weather the storm with Jay-Z by her side? And if 50 really has what he says he has, who's next when the spotlight shifts? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss what...
Y'all check them out. We're going back to their channel. We're gonna probably roll out with the Star Snitch.
And director Alexandria Stapleton, who sat down with NBC News' Chloe Melas ahead of tonight's release.
More explosive details just dropped from Gene Deal, and this time it's heavy. He's officially gone public with evidence about Tupac's shooting that never made it into 50 Cent's Netflix documentary. We're talking about $1 million check, proof that Diddy allegedly knew Tupac was about to get shot, and the real story behind Biggie's end. This is the kind of information that was considered too risky for Netflix, but now it's out in the open, and people are paying attention. Let's be real, you clicked on this because you heard Gene Deal was exposing things that 50 Cent didn't want seen. And honestly, you weren't wrong. Gene is speaking freely now, and what he's revealing changes the entire narrative. No filters, no edits, no streaming platform deciding what's safe enough to show. Just straight talk from someone who was actually there when everything went down. Here's where things get strange. 50 Cent reportedly sold his Diddy documentary to Netflix for millions, and everyone expected Gene Deal to be front and center. That made sense because Gene wasn't just anyone. He was Diddy's personal bodyguard during that era. He saw the moves, heard the conversations, and lived through the chaos. For years, he's been one of the loudest voices calling out bad boy secrets. So his absence was impossible to anyone. He was Diddy's personal bodyguard during that era. He saw the moves, heard the conversations, and lived through the chaos. For years, he's been one of the loudest voices calling out bad boy secrets. So his absence was impossible to ignore. When the documentary finally dropped, Gene was completely missing. No interviews, no old footage, not even a quick mention, nothing at all.
I want to put her on blast because she was telling me, she was saying to me that what I was asking for was crazy and they wasn't spending money like that. I'm talking about you got footage, you got clothing, you got, I was doing footage, I had pictures, all the stuff that I had, you could figure out a way to pay her, brother, and stuff like that. And then I was telling her about some prices that I've already received and I had invoices to show it. And then she was calling me like I was lying. I'm like, yo, who do you think you're talking to? You know what I'm saying? And she was talking about, there's no way nobody paid. Nobody what? I said, first of all you people come with these documentaries and stuff, the first thing y'all tell these people out here that y'all don't pay, and y'all pay. If you can make a picture look like $10,000, $15,000, you know what I'm saying? You can sit there and tell me that you're gonna pay me for my time sitting right down here with y'all. You understand? So then, one thing led to another, and I was like, yeah, all right, well then, F you, I spoke to 50, and then she said 50, and this is exact words that came out of her mouth. 50 does not determine what goes in and goes out of this document.
And now Gene is finally explaining why. According to him, entire conversations, videos, and key details were cut out, not trimmed, completely removed. And once you hear what he says was left on the editing floor, it becomes very clear why this material made people uncomfortable. In this breakdown, you'll hear why Gene Deal stepped away from the project on his own terms. He talks about the moment Diddy allegedly knew Tupac was in danger and chose not to intervene.
Wolf was not the gunman of Jake, and Mark Curry knows that to be true. You understand? And East Coast War was more like Helena of Troy. When Puff got mad at Suge for being out there and allowing Misa to come out there to make money, however she was doing it, to feed her family, he vowed down that it's like, yo, I ain't never fucking with her again, and I ain't never fucking with him again. Puff and Suge had a conversation behind the House of Blues about was we all right? Tupac was alive. Tupac wasn't dead. So if it was a war, shouldn't they have a conversation with Puff about we good? I know he could be doing a Hoboken hustle, trying to fool us, brother, but after
Now that I don't know about, because I could play out an interview where Suge said he only talked to that. I guess this was after. No, okay, so this might have been before they got killed or whatever. So he said, because he said this before they got killed. So hold on, let me see. Hold on.
it's like, yo, I ain't never fucking with her again. I ain't never fucking with him again. Puff and Suge had a conversation behind the House of Blues about was we all right, and Tupac was alive.
Okay, they said Tupac was alive.
If it was a war, should they have
So Suge told a story about after Tupac got killed and he got shot. They didn't they seen each other one time and they say that nigga slipped out the back door. Cause they say Prince was there and Prince brought them put all them at the same table. They say Prince was with the bullshit. That's my twin.
Puff, about we good. I know he could be doing the Hoboken hustle, trying to fool us, brother. But had he killed my man or some shit like that, I wouldn't have no conversation, Puff. I'd been like, yo, you know what y'all niggas done. You know what happened. And it wasn't no conversation like that, brother. It wasn't no conversation whereas that, Suge made Puff feel like I'm gonna get you a payback for what happened to Jake. This was more so that Puff, for whatever reason, Suge, for whatever reason he was mad at Puff, and Puff, for whatever reason he was mad at Suge, it was between them two. It wasn't no whole East Coast wanted the West Coast dead, and the West Coast wanted the East Coast dead. Because they still was going out, still chilling, still at places with each.
But when Pop them started with that back and forth with Biggie, that's when the shit just hit the fan. And that's when they made it a coast to coast type thing. Like, motherfucker actually was like, it was different coasts hating on each other in America, bro. Like,
it was Bad Boy
because of
and
music.
It was Death Row. It was no East Coast and no West Coast. West Coast dudes were still coming out on the East Coast getting love. East Coast was still going out on the West Coast getting love. It was Bad Boy versus Death Row. And that's what it was, bro. And it was because of the two CEOs. But Suge tried to straighten it out. I gotta get at the shit. The Death Row East Coast was going to bring in Eric B. It was going to bring in Big D. And those brothers was from the East Coast. So now they was looking for a representative to come to the meeting from Bad Boy so they could straighten out the shit between Pac and Big and Death Row and Bad Boy. And Puff is the one who refused. Puff is the one who refused to send a representative or even come himself and got mad at Zip and them because they were in the Mirage on 57th Street partying with Suge Knight. Got mad at them and Zip hung up the phone on behind that.
But what you mean by Mark Curry? You know who killed Big J?
It was some Jamaican dude from the Bronx. He's dead now. The police ended up killing him at Magic City. I don't know his name. But Mark Curry know that it wasn't Wolf.
But when I was looking at the documentary, Kirk Burroughs, he did confirm that Big, he didn't want to go to LA. And they was actually getting warnings not to go to LA. But, Diddy, he wanted to go, man.
Oh, man. Yo, we must have had warnings, man. I didn't know. I knew that we shouldn't be out there in the first place.
He describes seeing $1 million check with his own eyes that he believes connects directly to Tupac's situation. He also explains how Biggie's end was allegedly set up, including warnings he claims he gave that were brushed off and ignored. Before we even get into Gene's leaked material, there's something else that needs attention. This documentary was originally rumored to be a long series over 10 episodes. Instead, 50 Cent released a 4-part Netflix series titled Diddy the Reckoning. It includes footage filmed just days before Diddy's arrest, private moments with legal teams, public appearances in Harlem, and behind-the-scenes scenes that had never been shown before. On the surface, it looks solid, but according to Gene, the most important parts were left out on purpose. This documentary was supposed to expose everything Diddy was involved in, every move, every cover-up, all of it. But according to Gene Deal, the most critical parts never made the cut. The stuff that actually explains how deep things really went was quietly left out, and that's where the real problem starts. So who exactly is Gene Deal? Gene was Diddy's former bodyguard during the peak Bad Boy years, right in the middle of the chaos. He was there during the East Coast.
But Gene Deal was screaming this shit, I'm talking about years ago. Like, I've been on Gene Deal. I've been on Gene Deal. And we're just trying to figure out, man, is all this shit true? Like, is it really true? Like, I've been on Gene Deal.
West Coast tension, not watching from the sidelines, but standing in the rooms where decisions were made. He was in Vegas the night Tupac was shot. He was in Los Angeles the night Biggie lost his life. This isn't secondhand talk. Gene says he witnessed it all firsthand. And now Gene isn't staying quiet anymore. He's opening the vault and putting everything on the table. No protection, no industry favors, just raw details from someone who was really there. So let's break down what he's actually revealing. The biggest question people keep asking is simple. Why isn't Gene Deal in this documentary? Gene recently explained it himself during an interview. At first, he was involved with the documentary team. They wanted his footage, his stories, and his personal insight. Everything seemed good until one conversation changed the whole situation. Gene says he had a direct conversation with the director, Alex Stapleton, and that's when things shifted. According to Gene, she told him clearly that 50 Cent had no control over payments or final content decisions. She made it clear that 50 wasn't calling the shots. And when Gene heard what they were offering him financially, he felt completely disrespected. Look at it from Gene's side for a second. He claims he has footage nobody else has. He lived next to Diddy during some of the most important and dangerous moments in hip-hop history, and yet he felt the office.
So Gene Deal said he got footage? Oh, man. Gene Deal got footage too. Come on, man. Everybody
Didn't match
got
the value
footage.
of what the documentary would make. To him, it wasn't about ego, it was about principle. So Gene said no and walked away from the project entirely.
North wins, an upset for the ages.
Dad, why can't we go fast?
It's just the way things are. So I would ask the board to consider, what if our next app wasn't slow? What a day. What's this? Earn skills in weeks, years at University of Phoenix.
Oh yeah, I'm a
Project entirely. But here's where it really gets serious. Gene says his absence wasn't just about money. He claims the documentary also left out major evidence that would have changed how people see the whole story. One example is how the documentary talks about the East Coast versus West Coast conflict. According to Gene, the truth about bodyguard Jake Wolf's death was completely censored. Gene says that Mark Curry knows who is responsible and that it wasn't some mysterious government setup. Gene claims it was a Jamaican guy from the Bronx, and that the police...
Hey, y'all, I know Mark Curry's sister personally. Y'all can go on my Instagram. We got pictures together.
Later killed him at a club called Magic City. Gene also says the whole East Coast versus West Coast angle is misleading. In his view, it was never about regions. He says it was strictly Bad Boy Records versus Death Row Records.
Talking about the whole incident of the Quad Studio shit. Like in the documentary, they was talking about that, right? You know what I'm saying? They talked about the Quad Studio shit. But they didn't mention the fact, and they left it out, that Big and C's did not know that Puff and Andre Harrell was in Jimmy Hinchman's office the day Pac got killed. I mean, the day Pac got shot at Quad Studio. Let me repeat that again so it don't get mixed up in the whole thing. They did not mention that Andre Harrell and Puff Daddy and Jimmy Hinchman were all in the office together. Puff was in the office because he was trying to spy on Big now. Because Big was writing the Junior Mafia stuff and Puff had his publishing. I told this to a couple of people before, I said it before, and you got people that's running with it like they knew the story in the whole 9 yards. You understand? They'll lie and you ask them, how do you know that? Who told you? They couldn't even tell you that. They'll tell you some lie, they did some kind of investigation, but it didn't happen like that. You understand? Puff was there to spy on Big because he had owned Big Publishing. And Big had turned around, and the same people who helped Puff get Big Publishing told Big to turn and put Tatiana or put somebody else's name on his publishing or give it to Lil C's or whoever this, that, and the third that he wrote for so he can get the money from. So that's how that went down. So they was there to spy on Big. In the interim of being there to spy on Big, Jimmy Hinchman told them that they finna show Pac, teach Pac a lesson, because Pac had owed him some money. So that's why he was up in the studio and was coming to the studio. Pac owed him some money. He was gonna work it off and get some money from doing a song with Lil Sean. And that's what that was about. But Pac was talking greasy to Jimmy Hinchman, and Jimmy Hinchman wasn't the type of dude that you talk greasy to, allegedly. Unless you 50 Cent.
So Diddy knew what was going to happen to Pac.
He knew Pac was about to deal with. Yeah, he was there to see it. He was there to see it. He wasn't only there to see Big them. When Jimmy Hinchman told him that, he was there to see what's going to happen to Pac. He was there for that. Because had he not been there for that, he would have went up there in the office. He would have went to the studio or the studio session with Big them. He would have went to that studio session with Big them. He knew what room Big them was in. He didn't do that. He was there to see what was going to happen to Pac after Jimmy told him. And that's facts.
So this nigga said he knew that Pac was about to get shot the first time.
A personal power struggle between
That's
Diddy
crazy.
and Suge Knight. Rappers were still traveling coast to coast and getting love, but behind the scenes, the tension was coming from the top, not the streets. West Coast artists were still pulling up to New York, and everything was smooth on the surface. There was no citywide war the way people like to frame it now. According to Gene Deal, the real tension wasn't regional at all. The real beef was Bad Boy versus Death Row. And that part matters way more than people realize. Here's something the documentary completely skipped over.
I think that he came from wanting to be him, idolize him off, he idolized Tupac because you gotta realize when a woman looked at Tupac, they probably wanted him. Puff wasn't getting that type of fever from girls. You understand what I'm saying? Puff had to use his money. Puff had to use his position in order to get women. Now I seen him with some bad joints, and I used to look at them like this, like, not on no hating shit, but like, you wouldn't be here if he wasn't Puff.
Gene says Death Row was actually trying to make peace. They wanted to sit down, squash the situation, and set up a meeting between Tupac and Biggie to calm everything down. A real attempt to stop things from going left. But according to Gene, Diddy refused. He wouldn't show up himself, and he wouldn't even send a representative from Bad Boy. No meeting, no conversation, nothing. Gene says this entire peace attempt was cut out of the documentary. And once you hear that, it changes the whole picture. Because what Gene is really saying here is heavy. He's saying Diddy had a chance to slow things down, maybe even stop the violence entirely, but chose not to. And you can see why including that would make people uncomfortable. That kind of detail flips the narrative completely. Now let's get into the truly explosive part. This is where things go from suspicious to downright shocking. Gene Deal claims Diddy knew Tupac was going to get shot at Quad Studios. And not only that, he was right there waiting for it to happen. The documentary mentions the Quad Studios shooting where Tupac was shot 5 times back in 1994. But according to Gene, the most important detail was left out on purpose. Gene says that on that same day, Diddy, Andre Harrell, and Jimmy Henchman were all together inside Jimmy Henchman's office. That's not speculation. Gene is very clear about that. Gene also makes an important distinction. Until Biggie and his crew didn't know Diddy was in that office. Diddy was supposed to go upstairs to the studio session with Biggie, who was working on Junior Mafia material at the time. That was the plan, but instead Diddy stayed behind. According to Gene, Diddy was spying on his own artist. Like, why would Diddy be watching Biggie like that? Gene says it all comes down to publishing. Diddy owned Biggie's publishing rights, and Biggie was trying to get out of that situation. People were advising Biggie to move the publishing under someone else's name, maybe his wife Tatiana, or maybe Lil Cease, so Biggie could control his own money instead of it being taken from him. So while Biggie was upstairs in the studio, Diddy was downstairs in Jimmy Henchman's office, keeping tabs on what was really going on. And while Diddy was there, Gene says Jimmy Henchman told him something critical. Jimmy allegedly said they were about to teach Pac a lesson because Tupac owed him money. According to Gene, Tupac was supposed to come to the studio to work on a song with Lil Sean to pay off that debt. But Tupac had been talking reckless toward Jimmy Henchman, and Jimmy was...
He shot Tupac because he owed him some money?
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
And someone you play with like that, felt like giggity. Gene says, this is where everything crossed the line.
So me and my man Boom Dang, aka my man Slick, a check for $1 million. We don't know, and everybody trying to say, lying, talking about half of it got paid, 500. I don't know. I know when I asked him about, we asked him, we didn't ask him. I know when he showed us the check and he walked away after he showed us the check for the $1 million, you understand? I asked Boom, I said, yo, Boom, when did he get a record label? He said, you know how Zip is. I said, when did he get a Zip record label? Zip had a check for $1 million. He said he got it from Barry Hankerson and Jimmy Henchman for his record label, Black Ground Records. So now, if that's true, we know Jimmy Henchman and Puff was cool. You should be able to trace $1 million if that's the truth. If that's the truth, you should be able to trace.
Here's where Gene says it gets undeniable. Jimmy Henchman allegedly told Diddy exactly what was about to happen to Tupac, and Gene makes a simple point. If Diddy didn't know what was coming, why didn't he go upstairs to Biggie's session like he was supposed to? He knew exactly which room Biggie was in. He could have gone up there at any moment. Instead, Gene says Diddy stayed right where he was and waited. According to Gene, Diddy knew Tupac was about to be hurt, didn't warn anyone, didn't step in, and didn't try to stop it. Gene says these are straight facts, not rumors, and that Diddy was there to witness what happened. The documentary left all of this out completely, but Gene also explains where the hatred toward Tupac really came from, and when you hear it, it starts to click. According to Gene, Diddy was jealous of Tupac, not because of music or fame, but because of how people responded to him. Gene says women were naturally drawn to Tupac. He had presence, confidence, and magnetism without forcing it. He could walk into a room and people felt it instantly. But Gene claims Diddy didn't have that same pull. He says Diddy had to rely on money and power to get attention, and that resentment sat there quietly, growing over time. Gene says he remembers walking women to the door after the bit
Okay.
with Diddy, and every time the same thought hit him hard. In his mind, it was clear. You wouldn't be here if he wasn't Puff. Gene says if Diddy had no money, no status, none of that power, those women wouldn't have been stepping out of that room at all. That reality sat heavy with him, and it says a lot about how things really were. Gene even claims Diddy admitted it himself one time. According to Gene, Diddy told him straight up, I don't know how to talk to women. I don't know how to talk to girls. That insecurity wasn't hidden, and Gene says the jealousy was very real. In his view, that resentment.
You don't know how to talk to girls, bro? Like what? Like what? You don't know how to talk to girls?
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Come on, Diddy. You got too much goddamn, bro. You can buy you a class on how to talk to a female. Talking about, bruh.
Played a major role in
Yeah,
everything.
going
that
on,
made him
dog.
so
Yeah,
Diddy
you
and
can't
Tupac.
talk to women.
We have law enforcement on how, if did he had anything to do with breaking that money up or giving that money up to him like that? Or did he use somebody else? Or did he do something for somebody else to be able to get that money for that? We don't know.
I was just about to say that too. Keefe D, he can use him for the upcoming trial.
Well, Kirk was meticulous in always keeping notes and files and things like that. But that money can't just do a trace on $1 million check. Just do a trace on them. I want them to do it because that would prove that I saw $1 million check. That would prove. Just do a trace on it. The man dead now. What are you gonna do? Do a trace on it.
But Gene isn't just talking off feelings or opinions. He says he saw real physical evidence with his own eyes, and that's when things start getting serious. Gene brings up a specific incident that happened on 112th Street, one that stuck with him all these years. Gene says he was sitting on a stoop with another guy when a man named Eric Zip Von Zip walked up. Zip was excited, showing off a brand new car, moving like someone who just came into serious money. And Zip pulled something out of his back pocket and everything changed. It wasn't cash, it wasn't paperwork, it was a check. And not just any check. Gene says it was a check for $1 million. He and the people around him saw it clearly. No confusion, no guessing. Zip was bragging, flashing it like a trophy, letting everyone know he had just scored big. According to Gene, Zip explained exactly where that money came from. He said the $1 million check was from Barry Hankerson and Jimmy Henchman, tied to his label Blackground Records. And here's the part that raises eyebrows. Gene says this happened right after Tupac passed away. Gene makes a very simple point here.
It seems strange. Could Puff have been involved in Tupac's murder or Biggie's murder?
I think that when you set up an atmosphere for something to happen, how involved are you? You set up the atmosphere. You put people in positions to get hurt. He knew that somebody was going to do something. He was told. I told him before we left. I told him. Mace told him. See, people ain't telling. See, everybody think that Gene Gill is the only one know this shit. I'm not the only one that's know this and privy to this information. I'm the only one that's speaking on it and has spoke on it. Now, people are coming out gradually, but when Puff set up an atmosphere for somebody to get hurt and they get hurt, don't you take some responsibility for that?
Is that more tactics? He's not going to pull the trigger. He might not even pay someone to do so, but like releasing that song Who Shot You, that creates an atmosphere, creating certain things and planting seeds in somebody else's mind.
Okay, so the song Who Shot You that was made before Tupac was ever even shot. I want everybody to know that. Like, I don't know. Y'all can get in the comment section, but I'm here to let you know. The songs Who Shot You was made before Tupac was ever even shot. So
to be number one, where Tupac ends up getting killed, Biggie ends up getting killed.
If law enforcement truly wanted to solve Tupac's case, all they have to do is follow that check. This wasn't money being handed off in secret. This was a legitimate check that had to go through a bank, through official systems, and through records that don't just disappear.
see, this is a thing that's crazy, bro. Like, when they want to hide something, that's what they do. That's what they do. When they want to hide something like this right here, we're not gonna look into it. And that's exactly what happened. They didn't look into it. And that's why we probably never figure out who killed Tupac and Biggie. I mean,
You can't
or
walk into a
Biggie.
random place and cash $1 million check. That money had to be deposited, signed over, processed, and approved. Every step leaves a trail. Names, dates, signatures, accounts. Gene says the evidence is sitting right there for anyone willing to actually look. And Gene adds one more name to the conversation. Kirk Burroughs, who was the president of Bad Boy Records at the time. Gene says Kirk kept detailed notes and files about everything that happened behind the scenes. According to Gene, Kirk even said he paid for people to travel to Las Vegas around the time Tupac was killed, which adds another layer to an already heavy situation. Gene says he doesn't personally remember that specific detail, but he makes one thing very clear. If Kirk Burroughs really has those records, that could change everything. Gene says it's almost impossible to hide $1 million for long. If money was being moved around, if payments were made, and if someone kept track of who got paid and why, then that paperwork could be the missing piece that cracks this case wide open. So the real question becomes serious, I feel.
I just wonder how like Diddy gonna feel when he get out of jail. What is his mental gonna be like? Is he gonna be like, hey, I'm Diddy, or is he gonna be like, or is he just gonna just disappear and vanish? And you know what I'm saying? When he vanished, it's like probably never see him again, but he'll just be living off his royalties and things like that, in a private space where nobody can, deal with him anymore. But I just hope he make it through the 2 years of him going to, being in jail.
Anyone actually willing to investigate this? Or is this evidence going to stay buried like it has for nearly 30 years? Because according to Gene, the trail is right there for anyone brave enough to follow it. Now we get to the part that truly shakes everything up. Gene Deal says he was literally present the night Biggie was killed, and the story he tells doesn't match the version most people have heard for years. According to Gene, the danger signs were already flashing before they even touched Los Angeles. Gene says he received a warning call from Wadsworth Hall, known on the streets as Unique. This wasn't a random person. Unique was a powerful figure who was locked up in federal prison in Colorado at the time. Somehow the message still got through. Gene says Unique only said 2 words, vest up. Then the line went dead. Gene explains that when authorities detected a 3-way call, they shut it down immediately. So Gene called back the woman who connected the call, and she confirmed it was really Unique calling from Mecca Audio. Then another message came through. According to Gene, the warning was clear. They're coming out. They're coming to get you. That wasn't vague. That was direct. Gene didn't sit on that information. He immediately called Kirk Burroughs and told him they needed more security. At the time, Gene says they only had 4 security guards total for Diddy, Biggie, and the entire crew. That wasn't even close to enough for the level of tension surrounding them. When Gene pushed for more protection, he says Diddy refused. He didn't believe the warnings and wouldn't approve additional security. Not long after that, Gene says he got a second warning, this time from Chaz Williams, repeating the same message. They're coming. At that point, Gene knew the threat was real. According to Gene, the beef was coming from multiple angles. There was tension.
I don't know if y'all know, but when Biggie got killed, Puffy put out a song, I'm Missing You, and he sampled Sting, not knowing that he would have to pay him for that. He got to pay Sting, I think, $1,000 every day for the rest of his life or something like that. It's something crazy, bro, but yeah, he owed him some money. What's the other artist? Damn, what's his name? He from Chicago. He Young Dolph cousin. Juice World. Goddamn Juice World. Juice World had sampled one of Paul McCartney. I mean, yeah, not Paul McCartney. Sting song, and allegedly, he had to pay more than Diddy, allegedly.
Tied to what people believed happened to Jake Wolf, there was fallout from a phone call Biggie made that allegedly led to violence in New York. There was an argument Diddy reportedly had with a Muslim man at the Soul Train event. And of course, there was the ongoing anger surrounding Tupac's death, especially with rumors about gang affiliations floating around at the time. Gene says all of that combined told him one thing: the danger was real and he needed to warn Diddy face to face. So Gene went to Andre Harrell's house where Diddy was staying. He says Diddy came downstairs wearing a white Beverly Hills hotel robe, which Gene laughed about later because it clearly didn't belong to him. But once Gene got serious, the tone changed fast. Gene told him, Puff, I've got real information. People are planning to come after us. According to Gene, Diddy immediately shut it down, saying he didn't want to hear it. Gene was stunned. He pushed back, asking how someone could ignore a warning letter.
I do remember that story. He said he told Puff that somebody gonna try to do something to them, and he said, "Oh no, I don't trying to hear that, man, and all that." But Big ended up getting killed, and that's that's Tupac and Biggie was one of the biggest like loss in hip hop history. Period. Like Tupac and Biggie was the one. Easy too though, but
that. Gene says Diddy responded by telling him that if he didn't feel comfortable, he didn't have to go. Then Diddy stood up and walked out, ending the conversation entirely. No discussion, no backup plan, nothing. Later on, Gene says he learned something even more troubling. Clark Kent, a DJ and vice president at Motown Records, told Gene that he had been in Biggie's room the night before the killing. Clark asked Biggie what his plans were, and Biggie reportedly said, D-Rock and Puff set this party up for me. That detail mattered. According to Gene, that means the party Biggie attended wasn't random at all. It was arranged ahead of time. When they arrived at the Peterson Museum, Gene says he was on full alert. He noticed people everywhere, tension in the air, and he kept his guard up, holding his weapon discreetly behind his back. Then Gene says Diddy ordered him to get into the car. Gene questioned why he was being told how to do his job in a moment like that. According to Gene, the situation escalated and Diddy made it clear he was in charge. From that point on, Gene says everything spiraled fast and the warning signs were impossible to ignore. According to Gene, Diddy finally snapped and said, "Get in here, or you're not working another day for Bad Boy." So Gene got into the car, but he says he was furious inside. The tension was thick and nothing felt right anymore. As soon as they pulled off, Gene leaned forward and told the driver, Kenny, to run the next 3 lights. Run them, he said, because he wanted to get away from that area as fast as possible. But as they crossed the intersection, everything exploded at once. Tone, who was sitting behind Gene, suddenly yelled that Biggie's car wasn't moving through the light. Someone had pointed a weapon at Biggie. Seconds later, the shots rang out. Pop after pop after pop, chaos everywhere. Kenny panicked and sped forward. Gene started yelling, asking why he was driving away when Biggie was being shot at. Kenny eventually made a U-turn and rushed back, but by the time they arrived, every door on Biggie's vehicle was open except his. Everyone had jumped out, but what you got, Biggie was still inside. Gene and Tone jumped into another Suburban and chased after the shooter's car.
And it's like, I think they figured out who killed Tupac and Biggie, but I don't know if they figured out who was actually behind it. But I think they found out the actual shooters and killers. But it just make it look, bad because it's like they won't, like, it's no disclosure. They won't let it out to the public. We don't know, like, they won't let the information out.
When they returned to the scene, Gene learned something that still haunts him to this day. There was a hospital just 2 blocks away from the Peterson Museum. 2 blocks.
2 blocks?
Instead of going there, Kenny drove Biggie to a hospital that was 30 minutes away.
30?
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
I don't know what that was. It looked like I seen like I'm outside, but hold on, we gotta run that back, bro. Listen to what they said, bro. They said it was a hospital 2 blocks away. They drove Biggie to a hospital that was 30 minutes away. What?
Something that still haunts him to this day. There was a hospital just 2 blocks away from the Peterson Museum. 2 blocks. Instead of going there, Kenny drove Biggie to a hospital that was 30 minutes away. Think about that. Biggie was bleeding, barely holding on, and precious time was lost. And Gene says his last words to Biggie were, "Whatever you do, don't let him fall asleep. Keep him awake." Biggie's final response was quiet and simple. Just do it. That moment never left Gene. Gene believes with everything in him that if they had gone to the closer hospital, Biggie might still be alive today. That decision alone changed history. Now, Gene makes one thing very clear. He does not believe Diddy personally harmed anyone. That's not what he's saying. But what Gene is saying cuts deeper. When you create the environment for something bad to happen, you carry responsibility for what comes next. Gene says
Yep.
Diddy put people in dangerous positions while knowing the risk. Gene warned when race warned. Others warned too. The signs were loud, the tension was obvious, but Diddy didn't act to stop it. Gene also says people think he's the only one who knows this, but that's not true at all. There were others there. Others saw it. Others heard the warnings. Gene is just the only one willing to say it publicly. Look at the pattern Gene points out. Songs like Who Shot Ya were released right after Tupac was shot, pouring fuel on an already burning situation. Peace meetings were refused when they could have changed everything. Biggie was taken to Los Angeles even after multiple warnings that it wasn't safe. And according to Gene, Diddy was present when violent intentions were being discussed and did nothing to warn anyone. Gene asks a simple but heavy question. If you create the conditions for harm and harm happens, don't you carry some responsibility? He's not saying Diddy pulled a trigger. He's not even saying money was directly exchanged. But by refusing peace, ignoring warnings, and allowing certain situations to grow, Gene believes Diddy set events in motion that ended with both Tupac and Biggie losing their lives. So
He
now the
did.
big question becomes obvious. That's
definitely true.
2025. Why are we still scraping ice like it's 1995? The car.
Why would 50 Cent leave all of this out of his documentary? There are three main reasons people believe that happened. First, the legal risk. Keith D is currently facing trial related to Tupac's case, including Gene's claims could have triggered serious legal consequences. Lawyers may have warned that adding unverified accusations could interfere with an active investigation and expose both Netflix and 50 Cent to major problems. Second is credibility. 50 Cent wants this documentary to be taken seriously. He wants impact. He wants it viewed like other major exposés. While Gene is compelling and detailed, some people label him a conspiracy thinker. Removing him may have been a strategic move to protect the project from legal attacks. And speaking of legal pressure, Diddy's legal team already sent a cease and desist letter to Netflix. They accused the platform of using stolen footage and called the documentary a hit piece. Including Gene's full story might have handed them even more leverage. Third, and maybe the most realistic reason of all, is money. Gene wanted to be paid what he believed his footage and experience were worth, and 50 Cent is a businessman first. If the numbers didn't make sense, he may have decided to move forward without him. Sometimes it really is that simple. While all of this unfolds around Gene's revelations, there's still more drama bubbling behind the scenes. Reports say Diddy even sent flowers to 50 Cent at Club 11 in Miami, adding yet another strange layer to an already tense situation. But here's the part that made people stop and really look twice. These weren't just random flowers. According to someone who works as a funeral director, those flowers were funeral arrangement flowers. Let that sink in for a second. That alone adds a whole different layer to everything that's been unfolding. After going through all of this, it's hard not to feel like Gene Deal is telling the truth. He isn't vague, he isn't switching stories, and he isn't talking in circles. He gives specific names, specific places, and specific moments. He was physically there when these events happened, and he's been consistent with his account for years, not weeks or months. Gene has now put out information that 50 Cent either couldn't include or chose not to include in the Netflix documentary. From claims that Diddy knew about the Quad Studio shooting before it happened, to the $1 million check that Gene says proves money was moving behind the scenes. From repeated warnings before Biggie's death that were ignored, to how Gene says certain choices created an atmosphere where violence was inevitable. This wasn't light information. This wasn't something you casually throw into a streaming.
Yeah, this whole thing, bro. Like, I like the way they be breaking this stuff down too. So we're gonna be reacting to these more.
Documentary. It was explosive. Maybe it was too risky legally. Maybe it would have opened the door to non-stop lawsuits. Maybe it would have damaged the credibility of the project. Or maybe Gene simply wasn't willing to be shortchanged. Whatever the reason, this material was left out. But Gene isn't backing down, Valush. He's saying what he knows, putting it all out in the open, and letting the public decide. No edits, no filters, just his version of events.
Okay. We're gonna do another one, see what they're talking about.
We have gone to the
Same
place where
channel,
literally
different
anybody
day.
can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is base for.
Before I ever knew of him, I met him when he was 21 years old. And when we met, you know, he played me Craig Mack Flavor in Your Ear. He played me 3 cuts from the forthcoming Notorious B.I.G. album. And we talked for hours and hours about music, and I poured into his dream.
Okay, so if y'all don't know who this white man talking, this is Clive Davis.
Bad boy Rick. And we had an incredible run, an incredible period.
Jaguar Wright went on Piers Morgan and made claims she wasn't supposed to say out loud. She talked about alleged connections involving Jay-Z and Diddy that the industry didn't want discussed publicly. And then something strange happened. That episode was reportedly pulled just 48 hours after going live. Gone, wiped, no replay. Jaguar raised a question that still hasn't been answered. How does Jay-Z sit with Gayle King on CBS and not get asked a single question about alleged connections involving him, Aaliyah, and R. Kelly? How does an interview like that even happen without addressing the biggest elephant in the room? Jaguar Wright didn't hold back at all. She publicly called out both Diddy and Jay-Z, saying they've had a tight grip on the industry for decades, like a fist pressing down on everything behind the scenes. And then there's the Aaliyah conspiracy that just refuses to fade away no matter how much time passes. For years, people online have speculated about whether Jay-Z or Beyonce were somehow connected to the tragic plane crash that took Aaliyah's life. The theory floating around is that Aaliyah was getting too close to Jay-Z, and someone allegedly saw her as a threat.
In 1993, he and Clive Davis founded Bad Boy Records. Clive Davis, how do you describe Clive Davis? There's an infomercial about him now, which is a document, it's being called a documentary. And it makes him look like this benign octogenarian that's helped all these rock stars with their careers. But people in the music industry really don't like Clive Davis, most of them. And his criminality is kind of amazing.
Jaguar Wright went even further and claimed Jay-Z was responsible for putting Aaliyah on that faulty plane. She framed it as punishment, saying Aaliyah rejected him and her removal cleared space for Beyonce, who was still fighting her way to the top at the time. Now let's be clear, none of this has been officially confirmed, but the fact that these claims keep resurfacing has people talking non-stop. What makes it louder is that Jay-Z has never directly addressed these rumors in public. That silence hits different when the questions won't go away. And here's another detail that had people raising eyebrows hard. When Diddy started facing charges and alleged victims began filing lawsuits, guess who suddenly appeared in the picture? Alex Spiro, Jay-Z's personal lawyer. Spiro reportedly began representing some of the people connected to Diddy's legal situation, and folks immediately started asking questions. Why was Jay-Z's lawyer showing up all over Diddy's cases? That move alone sent speculation through the roof and added another layer to this already messy situation. Insiders are claiming this whole thing is controlling the story before it spins out of control. The idea being pushed is that silencing alleged victims and shaping the narrative early could stop more powerful names from getting dragged into the spotlight. Because if Diddy ever decided to speak openly and start naming names, people believe a lot of influential figures could be exposed.
Watch as Cat Williams calls out Bishop T.D. Jakes, and watch as T.D. Jakes and Gino Jennings' response.
I came in this business saying I was going to expose. When I talked about Michael Jackson, when I talked about R. Kelly, they canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side. Period. All of these big deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TD Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all.
And according to the claims online, Jay-Z allegedly would not want that kind of fallout spreading any further. And you can't talk about Jay-Z's rise without bringing up Big L. Big L was widely known as someone who helped introduce Jay-Z to key players, including Dame Dash, during the early days of Rockefeller. Talks were reportedly happening about deals involving Big L and his circle, and momentum was building fast. But then everything changed suddenly. Just days after those conversations reportedly began, Big L was tragically killed in a drive-by shooting in Harlem. The case remains unsolved to this day. Jaguar Wright has claimed that Big L's death was the first in a series of mysterious losses that appeared around the time of Jay-Z's rise to power. Is it coincidence? Maybe. But when people start connecting dots, many say the pattern feels unsettling.
Damn, Jay-Z. Not Big L. Okay, so look, Big L got killed in a drive-by, but I never knew that.
Two of the pyramid, and this is where the conversation turns even heavier. This level points toward Oprah Winfrey and Clive Davis, often described by critics as major power brokers within entertainment.
Keep it moving. The worst that could happen if everything was true, all I got to do is repent sincerely from my heart. There's enough power in the blood to cover all kinds of sin. I don't care what it is, the blood would fix it. But I ain't got to repent about this. All I got to do.
Let's start with Oprah. She's been photographed multiple times with Harvey Weinstein, and according to public discussion, these weren't just quick red carpet moments. People say they appeared close, which has fueled years of questions and debate. She promoted his concerts, stood right beside him at major events, and all of this was happening while rumors about Harvey were already loud in Hollywood. Survivors were desperate for someone with Oprah's level of influence to speak up and push back, but she stayed quiet, and that silence made a lot of people feel like she was protecting the system instead of challenging it. Then there's the South Africa school controversy. Oprah invested around $40 million into a girls' school that was meant to be her lasting legacy. But not long after it opened, serious allegations came out involving a dorm staff member, Virginia Makubane, accused of misconduct. Oprah flew in, fired staff, and appeared emotional on camera, but critics said too many details didn't fully add up. The question people still ask is simple but heavy. Did Oprah know more than she ever admitted? Now old photos are resurfacing, showing Oprah attending some of the same private gatherings where Diddy was known to host exclusive parties. Commentators like Jaguar Wright and Dr. Umar Johnson have hinted that Oprah holds a very quiet but very serious level of influence in Hollywood. Not loud power, but behind the scenes power. The kind that makes people nervous to challenge her and allegedly has the ability to end careers with a single call.
Bishop Jakes was at a Diddy party. There could only be two reasons: money or sex. That's all that happens at Diddy parties.
Speaking of ending careers, TD Jakes, he stepped down as the pastor of the church right before all the Diddy shit dropped.
Money and sex.
Cassie has turned over substantial amounts of evidence to the feds. I'm told that after Cassie had a long conversation with Blank, I have to protect this person. They're going through a lot right now. And her lawyers, she finally was convinced to give up the videotapes and audio recordings that contain footage.
And then there's Clive Davis. This man is in his 90s and has been embedded in the music industry for decades. He founded Arista Records back in 1974 and played a role in launching or elevating legendary artists like Billy Joel, Janis Joplin, and Carlos Santana. He publicly came out as bisexual years ago, and this is where speculation starts heating up. Hip-hop figure Suge Knight has made claims over the years involving Clive Davis and industry behavior, claims that remain unproven but continue to circulate online. These statements have kept Clive's name wrapped in controversy as people question how much power he really holds behind closed doors. The claims don't stop at mentor and protege talk. Suge Knight has said that Clive did.
I know right before Whitney Houston passed away, she gave Brandy a note, and Clive Davis was sitting right there.
His person
right before
told
she
him
passed
he and
away.
Diddy were more than just business partners. According to Suge, when he asked Clive what that really meant, Clive allegedly explained they were romantically involved, not just connected through work. That allegation alone made waves and added another layer to the rumors already floating around. And when a reporter later tried to question Clive about Diddy at a public event, the reaction turned heads fast. Clive reportedly became visibly uncomfortable and refused to answer anything at all. No comment, no clarification, just shut down. To many people watching, that response felt louder than any statement he could have made. Then there's the long-running Whitney Houston controversy. A lot of people still question what really happened surrounding her death.
Diddy and TD Jakes.
Man, what I think about it is this, when I grew up in the church, the sinners was not supposed to have the same atmosphere with the saints. You have to be able to separate the two. So I'm looking at him as a saint going to a party that ain't nothing but sin, drinking, maybe.
I mean, but it said drink, but don't get drunk. You know what I'm saying?
Fornication, man on man, woman on woman, he on she. But
nah, I don't know about all that shit. I don't know about all that right there, bro. That's bullshit, bro. I don't know about that right there. I don't know about that right there, my
maybe he gotta lay some hands on somebody. Maybe he gotta save some souls. I know he got a contract with Revolt, so I'm just like, it's just real strange that he would be found at any kind of Diddy party or any kind of place with Diddy unless it's in a business atmosphere.
It's been reported that Whitney had a serious argument with Clive Davis just 2 days before she passed. Family members, including Bobby Brown's sister, have claimed Whitney didn't simply pass away the way the official story says. Ray J was reportedly the last person to see Whitney alive, and rumors online allege he allowed someone into.
So they're saying Ray J was the last person to see Whitney Houston alive. Ray J?
Her room
Come
who supplied the substances involved. These claims have never been proven in court, but they continue to circulate because Whitney's family has publicly said they believe she was harmed and not just the victim of an accident. So the question people keep asking is this: with decades of rumors, accusations, and speculation swirling around Clive Davis, why has he never been arrested or formally charged? Some believe Diddy is being positioned as the fall guy, taking all the heat while others stay protected behind the scenes. And now we've reached the top of the pyramid. This is the name nobody expected to hear: Bishop T.D. Jakes. Yeah, that name hits different. A pastor, a religious leader, a man known for
Bishop
faith, suddenly being
Bishop
pulled into this conversation.
Yeah, he's a
lot of
bishop.
people stunned. The same man who preaches to thousands every Sunday is now being dragged into the conversation. For months, 50 Cent has been dropping subtle hints about T.D. Jakes, posting about him again and again on social media. And here's the theory that has everyone talking nonstop.
He's going to these parties. I think that he's going to the Diddy parties, you know, bruh. If he's going, well, we know he's going to the Diddy parties, and I know that it's, I know what usually happens at the Diddy party, or when we told this happened at the Diddy party. Maybe you need to see it for yourself, man. Maybe you need to go there and really be involved in some things that could help save some individuals while they going to those parties.
If corruption really reached the pulpit, then this alleged blackmail network would be way bigger than anything people compare it to. The claim floating around is that Diddy needed more than power and money. He allegedly needed legitimacy, a clean image, someone trusted, respected, and untouchable to give him cover when things got messy. And according to speculation online, that's where T.D. Jakes allegedly fits into the picture. In part 4 of 50 Cent's Diddy documentary, people noticed something that felt intentional. Clips of T.D. Jakes were placed at very specific moments throughout the episode. When Lil Rod talks about waking up sore after attending Diddy's parties, a clip of T.D. Jakes
Here we go, somebody, hey.
on up.
Here we go, somebody's sore. Somebody's sore. Here we go, somebody's sore again.
Love Rampage. Viewers didn't miss that timing. A lot of people are convinced 50 added those clips himself as a coded message, not saying it outright, but connecting dots and letting the audience read between the lines. And this lines up with what Cat Williams warned about that. He said that in 2024, lies would be exposed no matter who you are. Celebrity, mogul, pastor, nobody exempt. And when T.D. Jakes was asked directly about the Diddy allegations, his response raised even more eyebrows. He brushed it off and said, "Keep it moving." He added that even if everything were true, repentance would cover it, saying there's enough power in faith to forgive sins. Then he doubled down, saying he didn't even need to repent over this. The internet went into full meltdown mode after that response. A lot of people said the reaction felt off, claiming an innocent person usually denies everything outright. Instead of pushing back hard, He talked about repentance, and that alone made people suspicious.
I mean, the repentance, hey, you do need to repent now, but what? Yeah, what are you repenting for? Like, what?
Online voices started saying that kind of answer only adds fuel to the questions. Jaguar Wright then stepped in with even more explosive claims.
The Diddy thing was like an Epstein type compromise deal where whether he was doing it himself. Conceivably, people want to think that he's attached to some intelligence agency or something like that. I think he's a gangster who made $1 billion and knew how to control people by compromising them. That's what I think. Whether or not he had help, I don't know. Whether or not he shared some of that information with people so they knew they had compromising stuff on people, I don't know.
She said if Bishop Jakes was ever present at a Diddy party, there were only two possible reasons in her opinion. Either money was involved or he knew exactly what those parties were about. Those comments spread fast and turned the heat way up. She also claimed that Cassie handed over large amounts of material to federal authorities. According to her statements, this included alleged video and audio recordings from Diddy's parties. The claim is that these recordings allegedly showed powerful politicians, artists, and entertainers in situations they never wanted the public to see. Here's where the story gets even heavier. Jaguar said multiple adult male escorts have come forward claiming they witnessed or experienced things at these parties that back up the rumors circulating online. These claims remain unproven, but people latched onto them because of how detailed they sounded. She also alleged that a legal dispute is being prepared involving a young man who says he was harmed years ago. To be clear, these are allegations, not proven facts. The claim is that there were private agreements made long ago to keep the situation quiet. And now that the individual is an adult, he's seeking legal clarity and accountability. That part alone has caused serious debate and intense discussion online. Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, also weighed in on this, and his comments added more gasoline to the fire. He questioned why a religious leader would even be present at gatherings where drinking, sexual behavior, and adult activity were happening openly. Gene said it's hard to explain that away unless T.D. Jakes was somehow directly involved in what was going on at those parties. Gene didn't stop there. He claimed he's heard whispers about tapes that may surface soon. And according to him, once those recordings come out, the speculation ends. No more guessing, no more theories, just whatever the evidence shows. That statement alone has people watching the situation closely. Now zoom out because this ties into something even bigger. When Elon Musk sat down with Joe Rogan, the conversation didn't stay limited to Diddy. They talked about power, influence, and why so many billionaires are publicly lining up behind Kamala Harris. According to Elon, it's not really about political values or policy. He suggested it's about fear, panic.
Please, Lord, don't
the
let
idea
this
being that
man
if
be
Donald Trump were
there.
to
Please,
sealed
please,
information
God,
connected to the
don't
Epstein
let
case
this man
could
be
potentially come back into focus. And if that happened, some of the wealthiest and most powerful people on the planet would end up exposed.
Lord, Jesus, I don't feel like this. Like with this deal, I could deal with them. I'm like, nah.
Related discussions. Joe asked Elon directly if he noticed it. Elon answered with just one word, yes. Joe then made a chilling comparison. He said Diddy's alleged operation mirrors what people believe Jeffrey Epstein was doing. Both situations allegedly involved recording powerful individuals in compromising positions and using that material to maintain control. That comparison alone made the room go quiet and sent the internet spiraling. The most chilling question people keep asking is this: who was supplying Diddy with young people, and how many powerful names are allegedly caught on those tapes? That's where the fear really kicks in. Even Melinda Gates unintentionally added fuel to that conversation. One of the major reasons she publicly cited for leaving Bill Gates was his connection to Jeffrey Epstein, and this was after Epstein had already been convicted. Melinda has said she met Epstein only once, but that was enough. She described the experience as feeling like evil personified, just being in the same room with him. Let that sink in.
Like
The
the
connection
devil's
between
advocate
Gates
was
and
in that
Epstein was
bit.
serious enough for Melinda to walk away from one of the wealthiest men on earth. People can't help but wonder what she knew, what she sensed, and what she may have seen long before the public caught on.
Damn,
If
that's
that level
crazy.
of power still couldn't protect a marriage from the truth, imagine how deep these networks might really go. That's why so many people say the signs were always there, hiding in plain sight. Dave Chappelle tried to warn people about this years ago. He said the entertainment industry itself is a monster, the same monster the Me Too movement was trying to expose. When people asked why he didn't just take Chappelle's show to another network, his answer stunned everyone. He said it's like asking why an enslaved person would run from one plantation to another. Maybe the next master seemed nicer, but you're still trapped in the same system. Dave openly admitted he felt.
That's cold blooded. He said, why would a slave run from one slave plantation to another one? That's cold blooded. Dave Chappelle a beast though.
Controlled and cornered by forces bigger than him. And if someone as wealthy,
Dave Chappelle,
and
like,
successful
bruh,
as Dave Chappelle,
like Dave Chappelle, mama and daddy, like, they like, I think Dave Chappelle, mama and daddy are like, they're like teachers or something. Like, they like in colleges and shit. That's why he's funny, but his jokes, like, bro, like it run past everything, bro.
felt trapped like that. What does that say about everyone else trying to survive inside the same industry? This story is nowhere near finished. More names are going to surface, more evidence is going to come out, and more uncomfortable truths are going to hit the public eye. This situation is still unfolding in real time, and what we're seeing now might only be the surface. So here's the real question I want you to think about. Do you believe TD Jakes is truly the figure at the top of this pyramid? Or do you think there's an even bigger name still hiding in plain sight?
Alright, y'all, we're gonna do this one. I said this one the other day, but this one here tight though.
Or your next. How will this affect me? And whoa, check this out.
Silence right now is raising so many eyebrows. Now, when 50 Cent's documentary dropped, it instantly became the biggest thing on Netflix. People everywhere started talking about the allegations, the stories from the.
In his doc, the Reckoning, Sean Combs' The Reckoning being not only number one in the U.S. but now number one in the U.K. And he posted some flowers, and y'all know 50 love being funny.
Okay, so 50 Cent just pulled the curtain back on why Snoop Dogg suddenly vanished the exact moment the Diddy documentary hit Netflix. And listen, what came out of this is way darker than anyone expected. Multiple people close to the situation are now saying Snoop might not be as clean as his image makes him look, and some are even claiming his role could be just as troubling as Diddy's. Yeah, that sounds crazy, but stay locked in, because the details behind this are straight up shocking. You didn't click this video for no reason. Something about Snoop going quiet felt wrong, and your instincts weren't lying. The documentary Diddy, The Reckoning exploded the second it dropped and shot straight to number one on Netflix in both the US and the UK. That alone is huge, but here's the part nobody can ignore. The moment this documentary went live, Snoop Dogg disappeared completely. No Instagram, no tweets, no jokes, no commentary at all. For someone who normally reacts to everything in hip-hop culture, that silence is loud, and here's exactly what we're breaking down. First, the real reason Snoop suddenly stepped back when Diddy became the main topic everywhere. Second, disturbing claims from people who say they were around both of them and saw things up close. Third, long-standing connections that have been right in front of everyone for years but never fully questioned. And finally, information tied to Kim Porter that is people re-examining what was really happening behind closed doors. Every piece matters, so don't skip ahead, because the last detail changes how this whole story looks.
Damn.
Before getting into the heavy accusations, you need to understand something important. Snoop and Diddy weren't just industry buddies or occasional collaborators. Their connection ran deep, personal, and long-term. This wasn't surface level at all. That history explains why Snoop's silence right now is raising so many eyebrows. Now, when 50 Cent's documentary dropped, it instantly became the biggest thing on Netflix. People everywhere started talking about the allegations, the stories from those who said they were affected, and the environment that surrounded Diddy for years. The documentary breaks down claims, timelines, and behavior patterns that many say were ignored for far too long. It's heavy, it's uncomfortable, and it forced a lot of people to react. But while artists, fans, and media voices were all speaking up, Snoop stayed completely quiet. No jokes, no side comments, no reactions at all. That's not normal behavior for him, especially when the topic dominates hip-hop culture. Silence at a moment like this doesn't look neutral, it looks calculated.
Like, for Snoop to be with Death Row and he kind of favored their side when it was a beef. That kind of threw me off. Yeah, that shit threw me off.
Listen to this closely, because this is Snoop himself explaining how closely their families were connected, word for word, exactly as said.
Just so you know, Puffy's sons and my sons have been best friends since they were 6, 7 years old. I didn't make it happen and Puffy didn't make it happen. One night I was at my house and Puffy's son was over about like 9 o'clock. I'm like, "Cuz, what time you going home?" And he like, "I'm spending the night." I'm like, "Did you tell your dad?" He like, "Nah, my mom dropped me off." So Kim, rest in peace, was connecting my kids with Puff kids, and they formed a friendship and a bond. When Justin went to UCLA, my son went to UCLA. When Christian was rapping, my son was rapping. When he was modeling, they was flying over the world together. So they forged a friendship and a brotherhood that me and Puff always had.
That quote alone shows how tight these families were for years. Their lives were intertwined, their kids grew up together, traveled together, and moved in the same circles. That level of closeness explains why people are now digging into old footage, old interviews, and old stories with a fresh lens. Nothing here feels random anymore, and that's exactly why Snoop's silence has people talking louder than ever. So what they built wasn't just industry ties, it was a real friendship, almost a brotherhood, the same kind Snoop himself said he and Puff always had. This wasn't random or distant, this was personal, deep, and long running. Snoop went on TV himself and broke it down very clearly. He explained that his sons and Diddy's sons had been best friends since they were around 6 years old. He talked about how close their families were.
Snoop been silent. Snoop been goddamn mute silent. I heard like Snoop, where you at? Snoop, where you at? Where you at, Snoop?
How they were always around each other, and how Kim Porter, Diddy's late ex, would bring the kids together for play dates and family time.
Nephew, take that top card. When I die, I want my last words to be, "I did it."
Excuse me? You're reading wrong. Put these on. Show me your book. I'm gonna take a picture of it. Now it's gonna scan it and read it to
I
you.
sit here with one foot. I don't want to be the girl who fights over a man. I don't want to measure my worth in stolen moments and whispered compliments. Hey.
That wasn't business, that was family level connection. He even laid out the parallels. When Justin went to UCLA, Snoop's son also went to UCLA. When Christian started rapping, Snoop's son started rapping too. When one was modeling, the other was right there, flying around the world with him. These families moved in sync at every level. Same schools, same paths, same circles. That kind of bond doesn't just disappear overnight. So here's the real question. When someone you're that close to gets exposed for serious allegations, and your first reaction is to vanish completely from public view, what does that say? Wouldn't someone with nothing to hide at least say something, anything at all? Even a simple statement would make sense. And let's be clear here, no wild accusations are being thrown around. This is about patterns, behavior, and timing that don't line up cleanly. People are just noticing things that feel off, and it's fair to question that. Now, before going further, you need to understand what these allegations are actually about. We're talking about claims involving so-called freak-off parties where inappropriate behavior was allegedly taking place. There are also claims that Snoop was allegedly seen in compromising situations with Diddy. And yes, there are even darker claims floating around online that suggest possible involvement in trafficking-related situations. These are allegations being discussed publicly, not confirmed facts, and they are serious enough that people are paying attention. If this feels heavy, that's because it is. This isn't light gossip, and it's not for everyone. But if you want to understand why people are rewatching old footage with new eyes, let's keep going. Now let's talk about Snoop's past behavior, because once you notice certain moments, you can't unsee them. There's this clip people keep going back to. Diddy once said on television, "When I die, I want my last words to be, I did it." Go back and watch Snoop's face in that exact moment. He gives this awkward smile, not shocked, not confused, but almost like he knows exactly what Diddy means. People are now saying that moment feels less like a joke and more like a shared understanding, almost like an inside reference between two people who know something others don't. Watching it now hits different, and that's why it's unsettling. And it doesn't stop there, because there's more footage people are digging into.
Hey man, y'all kicking me in the Karma Cafe. I want y'all to like, subscribe, share. Definitely hit notification. Peace and one. We'll be back later on today.